it, and like I'm like they made me get this thing. I'm like, you guys, is somebody gonna check all these references? This is such a waste of time. You can just call my department. I'm an active police officer. Like, I don't understand. Like, why are you making me fill all this crap out?
Oh man!
But I don't do that job anymore. But,
Yeah. It's very important to guard the Forever 21 well.
Well,
I'm sure it wasn't
this
really
is at a hospital. In fact, my one friend still does it because they stopped. They got the only hours they offered were like midnights. I used to do like 8 to 12, and it was once a week. My friend still does it, but he's not doing it this week because his wife's freaking out because he has 4 kids and a baby.
Yeah,
he's working in the ER. You're just kind of there in case something happens. He had a full face mask. He's like, I told him I couldn't work for the next month or whatever because my wife's having a panic attack.
Yeah.
30% off of Sherman-Williams. I got to use that.
Yeah.
Exciting. And we're live.
Welcome, everybody, to Wallet Cleaning Hangout.
Yeah. Well, that's what's happening right now. Everybody's like cleaning and organizing.
I know, my wife's reorganizing shit.
All that
It's
stuff.
great.
Well, I was going to say all those years of like, oh yeah, I'd totally fix that, but I just don't have time right now. It's like,
Oh my
bam.
God. My wife went through our food closet as getting rid of like old food that's like 3 years old and cans, of stuff in the back.
I think over the last week I've heard the words Chris more than I've ever heard in my
life. Chris is putting a gun in his mouth.
Beer.
Chris.
There's a guy
making a mess in there, Chris.
Yeah, you better clean that up after you're done.
There's a guy from work, and his wife works at Geico, so she's working from home. And he's like, "All the bars are closed, and my wife is working from home. This isn't going to end well." He's just like so depressed. He goes, "I got to open the bars."
Oh no!
And like, because I can't even watch TV. I mean, she's doing it in the dining room, and I'm in the living room. That's where our TV is, and she has to be there till 9. She's on shift, answering customer calls and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So he's like, he goes, I can't even go out because no bars are open.
You got to build a little mini bar part of your house, like a little. Well, I hate to say the word man cave, but this is where man caves come in handy.
We can just call it an escape room.
There you go.
Everybody needs to escape every once in a while.
That I can't escape from.
Right?
And I don't want to escape from it.
Yeah.
I've been off the last 4 days, and I've been in this basement playing like World Poker Tour online and just sitting here. And my wife's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, it's like this is
recalibrating the septic pump.
Well, no, I was painting. I was also painting. I'm getting the basement ready for the arcade, hopefully. So it's exciting. I could finally, hopefully, fit all the games down here.
We can't start complaining about being home now because it just started.
Yeah.
We're gonna be here. Well, thank God, because by Easter this will all be over.
Oh, you're right.
According to Trump, it'll all be over by Easter. Well, thank God for that.
That summer, like we're wasting our whole summer. Like this is.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like let's get it over with before.
That's the thing about like the coronavirus. You can't. It doesn't care if you're a liar or not, like Trump. So it's just going to run through people. And if he thinks it's done by Easter, go ahead and go have your parties, go have your get-togethers, and watch people drop like flies. It doesn't. A virus doesn't give a fuck about your lies. It's just going to do what it's going to do.
Yeah.
So, fucking idiot. Anyway, we're all still here, thank God, and we're still corona-free so far, thank God. I'm worried about I'm worried about my daughter working at Stone still because they're doing the like put it on the counter but let them take it. But still people are coming in, they're breathing, and who knows her work, who might have it or might not. And so this is like her last week there, and then she's not going to work there until this is all over.
By choice, or is that
by choice? By her choice, yeah. They ask people if you want to work or not, and it's kind of like an option, because they know it's dangerous.
Yeah.
So at least there's that opportunity of when it
gets back to normalcy, she might have a job back there, right?
I hope
That's the
so.
hope. Yeah.
But she was going to go back to college, so it's kind of
Okay.
like, yeah, maybe she'll squeeze in another month or two before she starts college again. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on how long this will take. I estimate this will take at least 2 months to get through, minimum.
I would say you're probably right.
Yeah, but it depends. See, if people don't lock down, it's just going to keep spreading and being crazy. But
Yeah.
we really need to lock down the country. That's what our leader should be telling everybody. Lock it down. Don't go to work. Sit home. I know the economy's fucked.
My older son got just like an hour or so ago, he got the official notice from his college that it's study from home essentially for the rest of the school year. It was like they basically said that, but nothing was official until about an hour or so ago. And then they in addition to that, they said students that this is their graduating year of college.
That sucks.
They're going to set up some kind of like webcam thing where people can kind of check in and do it, like remotely.
All that hard work, and that's what you get. Yeah.
Yeah. My younger son, he's graduating high school this year. So it's like, it's going to be the same kind of deal, I'm sure.
Stinks.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. My daughter's college, the dean just closed the school, said, we're done, so they can try to do it online, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not going to work out.
You got the official paperwork today that I'm no longer employed.
Really?
So you can apply for.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because they were supposed to do something where you could still work, but any hours that you don't do from normal, you could get some money back through EI. Yeah, that hasn't been arranged or organized, and they're already 3 weeks backlog. So boss said, surprise, you're fired. Come back. We'll call you back when we're ready for a full service.
Yeah, that's only and of course the unemployment is just overloaded, and just too many people, and people like Keith are like worrying because he's the sole provider, and I feel bad for him. It's like it's just so fucked right now. I wish the government could do something about the banks saying, okay, don't foreclose, and for sure don't pile up the interest. It has to.
Yeah,
has to.
Well, this there's no way. I mean, this has only been a short time. You'd have to be, how long it takes to foreclose? Forever. My friend lived in his mom died. He didn't have any money to buy the house. I think he was there. Well, he's still there. Maybe eventually years.
Wow. Yeah, it's just, it looks bad on your credit and shit too. It's just, I don't know. But then again, who gives a fuck right now about credit?
Fuck you!
Yeah.
Oh, Jimbo's here.
Well, except for the people who maybe need to get credit so they can survive.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I meant your own credit if you, if you're
Jim, I was expecting some videos of the Willy Wonka.
Yeah,
no, I've been too busy playing the fucker.
Is it fun?
Yeah, where's our live unboxing?
Let's hear it.
No, the game sucks. I'm gonna put it on for sale.
I don't really have any news, so let's hear about Jim Bodini's.
Yeah, he posted a video earlier, right?
I didn't see a video. Where?
Yeah,
Was it on Slack?
It's in Slack,
and on my channel. And
I saw the pictures. Did you post a video too? I missed it.
He did a walkthrough of his game room, like an update.
Oh, is that on YouTube?
Yep.
How'd I miss that? It's on fucking YouTube. I'm subscribed to Jim, and they don't post it because I go through that every single day. And it's not
I posted it. I posted at 8 a.m.
Assholes.
this morning, so 6 p.m. your time,
That's
or 6 a.m.
bullshit.
your time.
But sometimes I get it like a day later. Like I watch like Arcade Impossible, their new old video, and I watch it. Then like 2 days later, I get to notice that.
All right, Jimbo, how many views do you have already? Just out of curiosity.
I haven't looked. I don't really keep tabs on that.
Yeah, I know.
Probably 6.
Dinky Flicks.
It's a small channel.
Dinky.
According to this, 124. I don't know.
Nice.
It's not bad. I'm one of
I
those.
don't care.
I would have been. That's the thing about YouTube. It's like you could subscribe to somebody and it still might not pop in your feed.
Yeah, I mean,
Fucktards.
I posted it on Slack just like an hour ago or something like that, just because like I forgot to. Otherwise, I just uploaded it to my channel. I think I posted on Clav. I'm not.
Okay,
and
so
it's also in the IRC right now.
Why don't you, if it's okay with everybody else, why don't you go walk us through like the machine, getting it in, them setting it up, all that kind of good stuff. And
oh my God, that was
your
like
experiences.
That was the most worthwhile. I understand now why all the Minnesota guys are like, oh, you got to go through this distributor because they're fucking awesome. So he shows. So first off, I got a call on Thursday because he was supposed to come out Friday, and I got a call Thursday, and because of all the delays and everything, they had a big truckload of crane machines that was delayed and rescheduled for Friday, and they got like, it was like 70 crane machines coming in.
Oh
yeah, it's like 70. And so he's like, is there any other day that works for you? And I'm like, well, yeah, he's like, I can do any day this weekend, whatever. And I'm like, all right, well, how about Saturday morning? Okay. So it's Kingpin Games. They're located in Wisconsin. And so he's like a 3.5 hour drive from where I'm at.
Oh,
so he's like, all right.
bad.
So he shows up right at 10 a.m. on Saturday. And he shows up in this big van, and he's already got, by the time I walk outside, he's already got the box out of the van, and he's got it loaded up. He's done this a gazillion times, and he's got one of those really fancy motorized dollies that does its own stair climbing. It was the most amazing thing ever. And
did they call you first to say, hey, we're here, and then you run outside?
Yeah, so he texted me an hour when he went with saying he was about an hour away, and then he texted me when he's like, I'm here. And so so I get outside, and he's already got it, so I held the door basically, and he just walked it right in. He's like, do you want to save the box? I'm like, no, I don't need the box. All right, that makes it easy. And he unboxed the whole thing, set it up, and he's talking to me the whole time. And he's, just putting the legs on and everything, and set the whole fucking thing up. And he was here for about an hour and a half, and walked me through the entire game, walked me through every menu, every setting. Wow. Which, by the way, is fucking awesome. Everything is software controlled on here, adjusting everything. And there's a map of your play field that highlights where when you select a switch or something, it highlights on the map where it is on the play field. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, on the LCD.
Yeah, I didn't know if it's got a paper thing or like on the display shows it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a split screen, and if you want, and I'll show you the map of where everything is. And so he spent all that time getting together, and he actually, I'm glad he was here because he had me do a few things, like remove the glass and make sure I can do this, because everything is right out of the factory is really tight. So like when you remove the glass like that, like everything it almost feels like you're going to break it, like removing.
It's so new,
yeah. So he had me do that a couple times and play a couple games, and I was glad he was here because right out of the chute in the back, like left corner, a ball kept getting stuck, and he's like, huh. So he pulls the play field out, and he found that whoever was working on it, whoever minimum wage person,
well, we don't know
dropped. Well, he knows that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoever was working on it on the assembly line had dropped, and he knew exactly what kind of screw it was, and he's like, it was an extra screw that was just down there, and it was resting against a switch. So he went in there with the pliers, pulled it out, and then tweaked the switch just a little bit, and then it was all hunky-dory. We played a few games.
Cool.
He followed me. So he was here for a long time. He was like, do you have any questions? I asked him, like, well, this has that Invisiglass. How do I clean that? Because up until then, I bought Carrie like the Invisiglass or the PDI or whatever, and I know that you can't use regular Windex on that stuff. So I'm like, well, what do you use? And he's like, well, you can either use Sparkle or you can use anything that's ammonia free, because I couldn't find anywhere. They want you to buy their own product to clean it. And
I know.
So he's like, oh, you can just get something without ammonia. And so actually I cleaned the glass today because I just wanted to, I had a couple of fingerprints on the side from removing it because I was re-leveling it. He helped me, level it, but I wanted it to be at a little bit of a steeper incline. And so there's an app on your phone called Pinball Leveler that he was using.
Yeah.
And I downloaded. It's freaking sweet. So it's got this little crosshair, and so
I've used that before.
Yeah. So
Jim, did you tip him?
What's that?
Did you give him
no?
a tip?
Just
No,
the tip.
no, because I paid him $250 already. So.
Oh, because this is a $250 service. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Otherwise, they just drop it off.
That about a
Well, yeah. So you could either, you
Set
could
up
do it a
charge?
couple of ways. They have different options. So the first one is I could come out there and just pick it up and not pay a dime. So first off, I'm already saving money because I don't have to pay tax because this is Wisconsin.
I bought one of these.
I've got one too. Yeah,
these are pretty fun, and you can freeze them and adjust. They work great for pins.
Torpedo, I think is
Because I noticed that
yours
this
has an
is more
LCD.
accurate than using the phone, so just keep that in mind. The phone's off.
Yeah,
by a
I
couple-
actually put my torpedo on there to kind of find a hybrid spot because you have to calibrate it. You have to play it on a completely flat surface, hit the calibrate button, and then lay the phone on the play field, and then I like put my torpedo leveler on there, and I'm like, and so it took a little bit of tweaking, but it plays exactly the way I want it to.
So you have it a little steeper than normal than 6 point.
Yeah, so it was at 6.
5,
He leveled it at 6.5, 6.5, and then I went to like 6.7.
Wow, that's
so just a hair more.
Just faster
but it makes a
gameplay.
difference.
Yeah, it does, and
bit.
sometimes it feels better that way. It just like Monster Bash, I have mine increased just because it was just a faster, more fun game to play.
Oh yeah. I'm just learning like a few ins and outs, and I'm already deciding. Like just in the short, like there's like 3 or 4 days I've had it. I've already started to make decisions about. All right, I definitely want to install this mod, or I don't think I'm actually going to install this mod, and so like I've already started to.
How come? Just because of the, see the ball better, or?
Well, no, like, so yeah, partially. So there's one mod I have that was like $20. It was part of a set. There's these spotlight covers that look like the candy mushrooms, from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And there was also a second piece that came with it that's like this green velvet. It looks like the grass, and it's got some smaller ones, and that's supposed to lay across this. I wish I had pictures to show, but it's supposed to lay across this clear piece of plastic. But the problem is that if you lay that across there, that hides some of the ball traveling.
Yeah.
And so
no.
I'm like, okay, I'm not doing that. And then I'm starting to have second thoughts on doing the pin blades, just because of some of the labor involved, and
it's
and
easy.
I don't think.
No, it's easy. Piece of cake.
I don't know. I don't like the idea of removing the bolts from the side from the head.
You don't have. No, you shouldn't have to. They should.
There's no holes.
No.
There's no pre-cut holes that I could see.
Oh.
And someone was complaining about that.
That's not. Well, I mean, you might have to cut that. Then that's weird. Usually they come cut.
Yeah, I had to look at it more, but so I'm not sure. I'm hesitant on there, but most of the other mods so far.
I really like the art though and stuff that they put on the art blades. I mean, it makes it look really good. Either that or use clear, or not clear, but the reflective ones for that.
Yeah, I don't want to do the mirror ones. I don't. But I mean, the ones
depends.
I have look like the ones I have look like the factory. The grass.
Yeah, the
and
factory.
everything.
That's one I like too. So
I don't know.
Do it later.
Yeah.
Tack it later.
I definitely like the first ones I'm gonna do, like the out of necessity. I feel like is I have the LED strips that illuminate the entire back glass, because you're missing so much art. Like that art surrounds the whole monitor, and they only have one single strip up at the top, and so I've got a kit that does the whole thing, and it looks awesome. And then the shooter rod with the gobstopper. So.
I would have bought that too. The shooter rod gobstopper. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's.
I'm
awesome.
surprised that wasn't like just part of the package. Think it's a no-brainer.
It came with the collector's edition, but none of the other ones. So, but I'm excited to put the Wonkavator in, and like all those mods, especially the factory one with the tube and stuff. Like, there will be some really fun ones, and some that, and a lot of them are really simple. But yeah, that should be a lot of fun. But I'm just having a lot of fun with it. Right, I actually, right before, the reason why I'm late is because I had like my best game ever. Right,
and that's
before.
always what happens. It's weird. I'll be playing a pin, one of my pins, and yeah, it's one of those things where I'll just play for 10 minutes before so shows up, and then you have your best game ever, and they show up. No,
I played like 10 games right before I worked out earlier tonight, and I couldn't get like more than like 200,000 points, and I was just getting pissed. I'm like, fine, I can't end on this. And I kept trying. Fuck it. All right, I'm done. And then, like right before the show, I played one game and I got my best score, like almost 2 million points. I'm like, what the fuck?
See, and that's why pinball is, like Andrew and I were talking about, where you can play like 5 or 10 games in a row and they're all shit. Then all of a sudden you have an awesome game. It's just you never know. It's weird.
Yeah, and Carrie said this before too, and I agree. Like sometimes it's just not your night, and other days it is.
And if you get really angry with it, just walk away.
Yeah, I got to tell you, like, this is like the game I just had was like the third or maybe fourth time that I did the Wonkavator ball lock multi-ball. That thing is so, like, I'm so glad I got the LE and not the Pro, because that is such a cool ball lock.
Yeah, it looks cool
with the whole Wonkavator. I think it's pretty awesome.
The have you gotten to the thing where the screen, how it flips and then you can see yourself?
That's the Oompa Loompa Odyssey. Yeah,
oh, I love that. That's so cool. So normally when you're playing the game, you're looking at the Oompa Loompas and you can see them in the factory, like, you know, pouring stuff or walking by or carrying something or whatever. But then at a certain mode that Jim just said, the Oompa Loompa, whatever.
It's an Oompa Loompa multi-ball, and all the lights on the play field change to green and orange.
Yeah, they're multi-changing LEDs, which is really neat in each thing. But no, the whole screen like does a flip, like it goes, and the camera turns on, and now you're seeing the other side. Like if you
full motion video of you, so
you're seeing yourself like you're looking into the factory, and then they're moving around, and you're seeing it.
Carrie got that mode when we played the LE at Blainbrook Bowl, and I was distracting her because I was behind her, because instead of just taking a picture, it's motion. So I was like dancing behind.
Yeah, distracting her.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I thought that was really clever.
It's really neat.
Yeah. So you're enjoying it and loving it.
Oh my god, it's fun. I and now that it's in my apartment and I can hear it better, all the sounds and stuff, it's so funny. I discovered that the pop bumpers in the back left, when you hit each one of them, each time you hit it, it goes, it'll like if you hit one and then the second one, it'll go oompa loompa. Like it, each time it hits one of the pop bumpers, it's part of the Oompa Loompas singing their song. Mm-hmm. It's pretty funny.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Did you know about the kid multi-ball was supposed to be called Brat multi-ball?
That would have been so much better.
I know. And the author, who's the author of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? What's his name? Dahl. His estate. He's not even alive anymore. But his estate. Everybody said okay to it. MGM and actually it's Warner Brothers now. They that owns the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory stuff. They all said okay to it. Everybody said okay to it, but the Dahl estate said no. We want to make this happy-go-lucky. We don't want you guys using the word brat, even though they're all brats.
Yeah.
Except for Charlie, of course.
Yeah.
Even though he's kind of a brat, they drank the fizzy lifting drinks and all that.
There's so many good call outs and sound effects. And I mean, it's got the latest code because he updated the code too.
There's been a few updates.
There's a lot of really funny call outs. You know, a lot of the famous lines and stuff are in there.
It should have been Brat multi-ball. It
should have.
They're bummed about that, you know. And what's funny is in the book, though, the word brat is used like over 50 times. It's even in the song in the movie. What do you do when your kid is a brat? Fuck you, Dahl estate.
So someone's gonna hack the code, right, and make it work. Probably.
No, it has graphics and everything to it, though.
It
It's all
does.
this animation and all
Okay.
this stuff. And I was remember watching the stream of it, and the programmers were there like, yeah, this is supposed to be Brat. We're really bummed about that. We've tried to fight it, and they just wouldn't budge. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
so it's one of those things. They really wanted to do it, but I don't know.
I had one of the modes, multi-ball modes or whatever is Wonkatania, where he's singing on the boat and
Oh, the crazy part.
the crazy part.
Faster.
Yeah.
And
I heard the light
I
show
got-
is good on that. I heard. I haven't
Yeah,
seen
oh,
it.
it's freaking nuts. And then it's like seizure inducing.
Is he doing his
And then
whole poem?
He's doing
and
this
that?
whole yeah, and I got because I've got that mode like a few times, and I finally got where I had the ball and play long enough that I got to the very end where he screams, and that was really fun. Yeah, because I read on Pinside, someone was like, I wish they had the screen. This might have been an earlier version of the code.
Oh.
Because when I got to it and I played it long enough, he does eventually he screams, "Ah!" It's like,
Oh, make him stop, Daddy.
yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, when you
I
get
love that
Oompa Loompa Odyssey, you hear Veruca go, "I want an Oompa Loompa." Yeah, it's fun. It's so much fun. I'm having a blast with it. I'm looking forward to maybe in a week or two starting to do some of the mods at least.
A year later, you're gonna be like Andrew. If I have to hear that song one more time,
Yeah,
because the whole time you're playing, it's
oh yeah,
yeah, that plays over and over and over and over and over. So, yeah, a year from now, you might be like, God, I can't take it no more.
You might,
Get
you
this
might develop
machine
an eye
outta here.
twitch. Yeah.
yeah.
Like Andrew, if you hear the song Ghostbusters like pop up on your MP3 or whatever, you're like, no,
Yeah.
no.
The nervous twitch.
He just
Used to be your
deleted it.
favorite song. Now it's like, no.
I'm deleting the movies from
Stop
Plex. I'm like, fuck
He
that.
he knows it just from like the first second where it goes. Wow.
Yeah.
do, 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 do. Andrew drives his car off of the road.
Just straight
no. Yeah.
Once in a while I get started, like if I don't have it on now, but I had it on for a while the other night, and there's on the track there's random call outs to get, if you
Oh, it just spits
every
out
once-
things.
yeah, every once in
Oh.
a great while, and the camera also senses motion, so if you walk past it, they'll sometimes do
Oh.
stuff.
Wow.
So it's
that's
it's
advanced.
kind of funny.
Yeah.
Catches Jim beating off in the back.
Damn it, I gotta clean the glass again.
Over the high score.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know about these cameras in our video games.
Yeah, I know you can disable it holding
when
the
you
right
start?
flipper and when you start a game. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
But in
Is
your
there
video, I
any-
did see your mug across the entire screen at one point.
Because it takes your picture after you enter your initials, and then there's so many different leaderboards on there, like different types of leaderboards. So I need to have some parties to get and some people get some high scores, because otherwise it's me. So I'm always trying to make a funny face, but
Oh, you have your
because
initials
you know where
all
the
through
camera
the
is, and right
thing.
when you hit end on the last initial, you hit the start button. That's when you pose, because it immediately takes a picture.
okay.
So if you know where the camera is and stuff, you can do whatever. Yeah,
Where is the camera on that?
it is right underneath the LCD screen,
can see it.
centered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't look at it when we were playing it. At the,
I was looking for it actually
Yeah.
when we were there. Yeah. But yeah, and while you're playing, I like it where it takes a picture of you, and then you're on the screen. It shrinks you down to
Shrinks
the
you
Mike
down.
TV.
Yeah,
Lets it
yeah.
down to the Mike TV screen. Yeah. So okay, now that you have it set up at your house, how's the lighting? Can you see okay in the back to see the ball?
I was gonna tell you about this. Yeah, you can. So let's see.
Oh, here we go.
Right. So it's right.
Whee!
It's right there, and right on the other side is my kitchen. So if I will have those lights on, and it's it's kind of funny, Ma, because I've played it a bunch, and there I can totally see why people think it's dark in some areas, and I guess it doesn't affect me as a ton, but the more I play it, the more I can kind of see where you're coming from.
Well, in the upper right is where I noticed it'd be kind of hard to see
where the
not
skill
only
shots are.
Yeah, with those two, there's a couple of skill shots up there, and they're the camera. And when the ball's kind of lingering up there, you're like, where is it? I can't wait. And then the reflections too. Well, you have Invisiglass, but still, you know, and it was dark up there. I was like, where's the ball? You know, because I want to be able to hit that skill shot. But
when I have the LEDs behind my games on, that helps a bit. But but I could totally see, and so I was gonna kind of joke, you know, I might be eating my words from last week when I was like, no, it doesn't need that.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Play it for like a month and see, and you know, it's an easy thing to add, and Keith actually makes them and a lot cheaper too. So we might hit him up because he's making me some for my Monster Bash. He already has a couple sets in his machines. They look great.
Yeah,
they don't interact though, but it does make the whole play field so colorful, you know.
Yeah, I think if I was going to get any of the Pin Stadium stuff, I would just get the Pin Stadium and not their additional flasher kit and stuff. Just the general illumination, the GI one. And that's $280, but yeah, it does interact a little bit, I guess. But it's a
lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I know. Right.
That's
and
like
after
when
I bought all these mods. No.
Yeah, I mean, certain mods, it's like, there's so much money. Like paying for like what is it, the DMD display? You know, when you swap those out for a color one, it's like $400 when you do that. But you know, it is cool. But man, it's a lot of money.
I gotta share this. Hang on a second here. So I saw this is what had me kind of rethinking. I found some pictures, some that are better than the other ones I've seen where people have installed Pin Stadiums, and this guy has a collector's edition. This is the before, and then
let me get this full. Let me get this. Wait, wait. Can you show that again? Before.
Yeah, so this is the before picture of his collectors.
Okay.
Look at that after picture.
Oh, look at it. The whole thing. The colors just pop.
That's huge.
Everything.
Oh man.
Yeah, and you can still see the lights that come on.
The other pictures I've seen haven't looked anywhere close to this good, and they've all been from pros. And so to see like something that's more in line with what I've got.
He has mirror blades on there though, right?
It looks like
no, he doesn't, because collector's edition comes with artwork. Art blades.
Unless you put them in, but
yeah.
I can't believe
it's almost a reflection off of those, but
I can't believe that the blades don't have holes for those bolts. Because
can you scroll back up to the one above it again? Okay, so there are tracks on the right and left sides under the glass, right? And there are LED strips pointing down at the play field. Is that what it is?
I think
if you scroll down, you can see on the left and right.
Oh yeah.
So those black bands that are just a little above the skirt thing there, right? The triangles. You can
that's
looks
the
like
light.
It's maybe 3/4 of an inch or an inch wide.
Yeah, you're right.
That's just the LED strip, right?
Mm-hmm. That's all it is.
That doesn't seem like that would be that hard.
Oh, Gak, you could totally make it with your blindfold on.
I'm like, give me some dimensions, Jimbo. I'll send you the sheet metal, no problem. The LED strips will probably cost you $20, you know,
more than the metal.
Yeah,
and you just do double-sided 3M tape, and boom, you're in business.
They come like that. It's just like what Jimbo put on his wall behind his games.
They actually come off. They're magnetized, the real Pin Stadium, because you have to take them off to lift the play field out, because they're the way they're attached to the sides, because they're not attached to the glass, they're attached to the side rail. So in order to lift the play field out, you have to pop off the stadium lights, and they just pop off with magnets.
So somehow they have brackets that go down to attach to something, so you're not like threading new holes into the sidewalls of the
the cables go down, and you know, on the side, and they have a detachable plug, so you just detach it, then you just take the whole mirror blade off on each side, then you can lift the play field out. It's a little pain in the ass for, you know, that doesn't take that long though, you know, because it's magnets. It's just you just got to remember to unplug it, otherwise you're going to be banging them out with the play field when you pull it up.
Oh, when you go to lift the play field.
Yeah, you lift the play field out.
But taking the glass out isn't a problem, because you can still slide that out.
Yeah, that's right above it. So yeah. But no, when Keith put him in for his Monster Bash, I was like so jealous. I'm like, oh, he's all, don't worry, I'll make you some. And that was like a year ago.
So get in line.
He made them, but he hasn't totally finished it yet. He just has to put, a couple more things in. But the metal strips are there. I just need the LEDs, I think. But yeah, no, that's cool, Jim. That comparison.
Yeah, that was like, I was like, damn.
It really makes it pop.
It does, and it's such a colorful.
Makes you wonder why the pinball manufacturers aren't just doing that off the.
I heard rumors of thinking about it. Yeah, of doing.
I mean, I can't imagine it costs them more than $50 to $100 at tops to add that. You know?
On a plus side, I definitely don't need. I was talking at one point. I was mentioning about the pin woofer stuff for the audio, and I'm like, I've got the volume at like 20 out of I don't know how. I don't think it goes to 100 or something.
Is it already really loud?
And it's plenty loud. Yeah.
Now, the Polk speaker that you could put underneath it, that will just give it a lot of like deep bass, which really does add to it, though. But I don't know in that game.
In that game, does
it have a lot of bass, though? Yeah, so it might not really help.
And that's it's a beefy subwoofer in the bottom of the cabinet, but like,
yeah, you might not need it, especially in your apartment and everything. It'd probably be fine,
Yeah, it sounds pretty darn good, and you can control in the menu settings. You can change the volume, individual volume levels of the sound effects, the music. Like there's 3 or 4 different volume levels, not just the master volume. I do like being able to adjust it externally too. Like the headphone jack volume adjustment doubles as controls the speakers too.
Yeah, you can control separately the music to the call outs, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. The sound effects, the speech, the music all have their own adjustments.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. So when's Carrie going to come over after the coronavirus?
We were just having we were just talking about like
by Easter she could come down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have to cancel my flight because my next flight is supposed to be like April 3rd or whatever, So it's like there's just no way. I'd be flying into the hornet's nest out there.
Scratch and sniff. You scratch. It's like, yep, smells like coronavirus.
Yep.
Get me
You'll
a
be able
line.
to come into California, but you won't be able to leave.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be stuck with us. I got an alert from Alaska Airlines because when the prices were dropping, I got tickets to Hawaii but not till like November. But Alaska Airlines, since I have a pending trip, gave notice that anyone flying to Hawaii needs to be prepared to self-quarantine for 14 days upon arrival. And so you need to adjust your plans accordingly.
Yes.
Which I assume that will either have changed or I will be canceling those tickets because I think we're only there for like 5 days.
Yeah.
Like that won't work. I don't want to spend the whole time in the quarantine.
No.
Right? Like, but they're an island. I get it.
Slowly but surely, celebrities are getting it, and so are politicians, and it's. I think in 2 weeks we're really going to see.
The first teenager was reported that died in California.
Oh no!
They said it was over the last week. I don't know what day it was, but somebody in Southern Lancaster, California.
I heard a handful of teenagers got it, or not teenagers, but college students got it that all went to spring break in Florida.
Fucking idiots, man.
About a handful of them got it, and who knows who else because they can't test them because we don't have enough test kits. So it's probably more than we even know. But
and unless you're showing symptoms, you can't get tested.
Yeah.
Watching that video that's been circulating on like Facebook is so frustrating. You just want to reach in through the screen and slap their fucking face.
Towel or a glove or something. Yeah.
I love their excuses. Well, we've been planning this for 2 months.
For months, literally months. We've literally been planning this for days.
Days. I just got a party. She laughs like an idiot.
They're all fucking hammered too.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to punch him in the face.
but with a
Kill
glove on.
Alfred.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you like that Batman cartoon?
I thought
I found that from Kendra. I stole it from her.
Steven Hertz, man, he keeps popping them all the time too.
Oh, Hertz and I are like competition. He has more than I do though.
Yeah, he's definitely had the most I've seen.
Hertz is awesome. Steve Hertz, if you guys don't know who he is, definitely follow him on Facebook. He's got the best posts.
Isn't he the founder of the E3 thing or whatever?
Not E3, the SC3.
Okay.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah, and he's had to cancel those due to the coronavirus and stuff too. Because he usually does at least 2 a year.
But he's been planning them for months.
He's been planning for months.
He's just got a party. Actually, I've not seen that video, but I just know. It's probably just as well.
It's just a bunch of dumb college kids being dumb, thinking they're invincible. That's why we put guns in their hands and send them off to wars. I'm invincible. Oh, I'm shot. I'm dead. You like that?
That was cryptic. A little morbid.
Yeah, it's kind of true though.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
invincibility
You gotta have
mindset.
that cocky. Yeah,
nothing could kill me. Did you see
and sometimes that helps.
Yeah,
you know, it's if you're trying to cross a stream and you have to balance on rocks. If you're hesitating, you're going to fall in the water. But if you're like, I've got this, you at least got a shot at it.
A great example is Tom Cruise did that Born on the 4th of July movie. And he's like, and he gets shot like in the leg somewhere. He goes down, and he could have just stayed down and gone back and gotten help. No, he gets back up and like hobbles, and he gets shot right in the back, or through the body and through the spine, and I'm crippled forever.
I really like
you, idiot.
I like Born on the 4th of July.
I like your reenactment.
Yeah.
Right. That's the best part. You're such a good storyteller. Oh my god.
It's like my jokes.
Lemon cookies.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, what is behind you? Is that a chair? It looks like a satellite dish. What is that?
Well, it's my heater that's usually right
Space
behind
heater.
me.
Oh,
It's his toilet.
it's a round heater, but
I put it in the chair because I was vacuuming in here. And
Yeah, I'm like, it was the chair heater combo.
It's actually a massage chair.
It's a toilet. For
Massaging his heater.
But
I don't have to leave very
no
far.
happy ending though.
No, I didn't get that. That's the deluxe edition.
Washes your bum.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's big time now.
I bet we're all
Bleak
wishing
is
we got
like, I
bidets
got
by
my
now,
bidet.
right?
Did you guys click on that link from Arcade Danger earlier?
Which one was it? I don't
In
remember.
Slack. The video is freaking
Oh, about how to
hilarious.
annoy your neighbor or
Yes.
something like that.
That one, yes, I did see that.
The
Yeah.
guy he, like
There's been some good
photocopies a bunch of like photos from the end of a bunch of rolls of toilet paper, then tapes them up in the window on the second floor of his house or whatever. So,
Duplicates it, so it looks like he's got a giant.
yeah,
pile of
it looks
toilet
like
paper.
whoever's in that house has like thousands of rolls of toilet
really?
paper.
Oh, wow.
Pillow fight. Yeah.
Way to get like a.
It's like a
brick
Pepsi
thrown your
pillow.
window.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
Did
I
you
was
see that?
FaceTiming a guy from work, and my son was here, and I accidentally scanned. And he goes, "Look at all that toilet paper you have." Because I had like a little mound. I go, "Don't tell anybody."
Yeah, that's our little secret.
Well, I just got yelled at by the wife. She's like, "Did you buy the cheap shit?" I go, "That's all there was there."
That's better than nothing.
yeah,
I didn't
Cheap
really have a
kid, we're using
choice.
our hands. Come on.
yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, it's single ply.
Did you see that video that woman filmed? That other woman that was like buying up all the toilet
At
toilet
the Dollar
paper
Tree or
at
whatever.
the
it
Dollar
was.
Tree, and
Yes.
she's yelling at her, and she's all "fuck you" and all that stuff.
I poop
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Dollar Tree's the worst.
yeah.
The lines take forever. That and PetSmart. If I have to be buying another old lady buying fucking cat food with 1,000 cans, it's just the slowest checkout process. It's like,
And then they have all these clubs and shit too.
Yeah,
So
I
you
got
gotta
my
go through all that
I got my
crap.
bag of 60 crickets and my greenies for my dog, and this woman's got a case of cat food and she's got a coupon. It just takes forever.
Fancy feast.
Oh god! It's as soon as I see the cat food, my heart just drops. I'm like, oh
I'll be in back looking at the ferrets. Fuck this.
no! And the
Yeah.
Dollar Tree's just as bad too. They're all the computers always go down when checking out. All I need, I go in there to get these stupid things, so I have extra pairs because now I'm fucking. It seems like daily. I'm like, I can't see shit.
No.
Well, I can't see.
Yeah,
worse
I know
as
what
it
you're talking
goes.
about.
I got that same problem.
Whatever
Yeah.
are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
They're
Yeah.
They're
just
about
as
2 or
weird.
3 years for me now. Yeah.
Yeah, it happened.
I only use them to read, but
Mark,
Yeah,
how many
see-
pairs do you have?
oh god, I have about 6 or 7 pairs somewhere floating around.
Yeah, Wendy buys them by like the gross.
Well, you can buy like
fucking
cheaters, which are
everywhere.
cheap. You know, you can buy those at
It's like
Target or
nail
whatever.
clippers.
But these are prescription here, but they're almost the same. You
These are
know?
Dollar Tree.
And she literally has one pair.
They
on one
look
end of the
like
couch
Dollar
and one
Tree.
pair at the
Yeah,
other.
Yeah,
end of
they,
the
they
couch.
do look weird.
Yeah,
They
and
look
I
like
have, I have a
safety
couple
glasses.
pairs at work too.
Oh, I just had to buy safety glasses. Harbor Freight, man, $1.99. You know, the cheapest safety glasses at Home Depot, $20.
You know, isn't that funny?
Really?
I've seen that too. Yeah.
Yes.
I bought mine at Harbor Freight as well. I saw that. I was like, $20.
Menards has the cheapos.
Piece of plastic.
No, I wasn't even gonna bother because I was dry locking my basement on the cinder block, you know, for moisture, and I was sanding like spots. I put this hydraulic cement, like there was holes, so I filled them and stuff. So I'm sanding. And then I actually was looking for masks, and I'm like, I
Yeah, good
actually
luck.
need it. I'm not scared of the virus. I'm gonna be sanding. And she goes, we don't have any. I'm like, all right, I'll hold my breath. I did have one. though. I found one.
Hold
today.
my breath.
But yeah, the Harbor Freight for those.
If you don't have like safety glasses, that's okay. I'll just squint. I'll squint.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Or
I
it's
had
like when
a
you're
pair-
welding or something.
Big ball of slag.
Yeah.
But I had my eyes kind of closed.
Yeah.
I mean, you should just invest in a proper respirator if you're doing any kind of work.
Huh?
Get a respirator.
A respirator. I was just doing a little sanding.
I know, but like if you ever do like, I mean, if you're sanding Bondo, if you're sanding anything, I mean, having a respirator
Oh,
laying
I don't
around
do
is
anything.
convenient, and they're not that expensive.
I saw someone today at the supermarket with the full freaking thing. I started laughing. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a clear Holocaust. I'm like, it's a young kid who walking
Full
around with
hazmat suit.
this major mask.
Gas mask.
Yes, I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, come on. It's a little nuts.
It's a lot nuts out there. No, they're saying 75. Now they're saying 50 to 75 people or percent chance of getting it in America, just because we got so many dummies, you know, going out and doing
Spring
stuff.
break.
Well, I
Spring
think
break.
the New York
How are the
City-
beaches? You see what the beaches are like in California?
Yeah, they ended up shutting down the parking lots
Finally.
around me.
I
Yeah,
know,
and
same
I mean,
here.
it's just so stupid. 'Cause I saw some of the pictures. I didn't see it, but personally, because I was in my house. But some of the locals took pictures of some of the local beaches, and it was like, more crowded than ever. Like
I
I've
know.
never seen. It's like
Couldn't believe it.
insane.
And now they've put up in San Diego, I don't know if it's San Diego or just North County, but it's $1,000 fine now if you go. And this is what they had to do because people are so stupid out there. $1,000 fine or 50 days in jail. Ugh.
Wow.
That's what they have to do. They have to be dicks because people are so dumb. It's insane. It's just gonna get crazier too.
Yeah, it's. I scored fresh eggs today. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
nice.
been trying for 2 weeks to get eggs. And haven't been able to, and finally ran out. And the only thing I could find at Safeway, our grocery store, was a carton.
Oh, the carton of eggs.
Of Arden, yeah. And so I tried to make scrambled eggs with those this morning. Ugh.
They're gross.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And it's like 99.9% egg. Well, like whatever that 0.1% is, it's fucking nasty. Because I was like, oh, it's just
1% dog shit.
yeah. So actually for dinner, I made quiche. 'Cause I'm like, okay, I could actually probably use this for something where it's hidden, but eating it as scrambled eggs, nope. So I went I found some eggs at like a local little bodega. So like a little, they don't sell gas, but it's like a small little corner market-y thing, and they had some fresh eggs, and I walk up and I see,
it's like gold, right? It's like
it totally
right
is.
now.
Yeah,
It's like
I
a
saw,
dozen eggs in one sitting.
well,
Guys.
I saw
Really
an older
suffering.
lady standing there looking at a carton of eggs and checking to make certain that they weren't broken, and so I was standing my 6 feet away, and all I was like thinking was, she better not be taking the last fucking carton of eggs. I mean, she was only getting one, and so I can't really complain, but and it was not, and we had a nice discussion about how happy we are that that place is there and we could get eggs. And she had a cane too. I could have taken her.
All right. So what's everybody's secret of getting toilet paper? If you run out,
Easy.
what is
It's
your
not
secret?
crazy. Duct tape.
The neighbor's cat.
Duct tape.
Oh, that way you don't have
cat.
to wax either. If you use duct tape, you don't have to wax.
So I don't know if you
You have
saw
to
my
wax?
post. I had to wait in line at a grocery store, a big grocery store, the Winco near my house, and I waited in line like about 35 minutes before it opened because they closed down so they can stock the store. And for the first 2 hours, they let senior citizens in only.
Yeah.
So they can get some stuff. So they have a chance, which I think is great. But then after that, 7 o'clock, they let in 100 people, and then they stop the line, and then you wait there. And then you wait till someone comes out, then they let someone in, just to keep from the panic buying and then the whole store's empty. You know, when it's mellower with less people, I think that's smart because like I said, people are stupid and they're just grabbing. And like the soup aisle's like empty. Who's buying all the cheese soup sauce?
It's also good social distancing too. The fewer people in the store means there's less.
True.
Density.
True. Yeah. I mean, you've seen those videos like on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, where people bring out a pallet and everyone just goes like wolves. Rah, rah, rah. The whole pile of toilet paper is gone in like a second.
So the poor store worker just brings out the pallet of
he brings up the pallet, drops it,
like,
and then they just it's like it's like the fast motion of ants eating a carcass, you know.
That's a very lovely analogy.
I'm gonna get some more beer. I'll be right back.
So our favorite scorekeeper has joined us in chat. Clint is in there, and so is Steve from Grinkers.
Cool.
Hey, we got some big time celebrities in there.
That's
because there's nothing else to do.
Exactly.
I think it's time for Steve at Grinkers to make his own like YouTube channel or something. Now that he's got some free time to walk around his arcade, you know, play some games, shoot some videos, you know. He's got some rare gems in there. Why not?
Oh, that would be fun. Some sort of like Idaho Farmer late night drunken videos alone in the arcade. That's because that's one heck of an arcade to have to to your disposal.
Do it in like a scary tone with all the games off or something, you know, like all the lights off, or actually go through all your like warehouses or whatever where everything else is stored.
Necro said
full
he
inventory
toilet paper on Amazon. Oh, he scored water and toilet paper off Amazon.
So it'll be delivered on April 21st.
Huh? Yeah. I thought Amazon shut down that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Or maybe
how much did you pay? How much did you pay, Necros? Like $40 for 2 rolls. Yeah, they're trying to get rid of the scalpers because they're like crazy assholes selling, you know, hand sanitizer for $20 each, and you know, that kind of thing.
Well, didn't someone say that like was it Costco? The rumor was that they're not letting people return anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
really?
Memo.
They dropped
hand sanitizer and toilet paper, and you cannot return.
Oh, really?
Lysol wipes.
The morons that hoarded.
That really got too much.
So now, I mean, for a while they've had limit. You can only get one, and I mean, good luck after the first hour or two that they're open. Even
that's probably what I'll do too. Maybe just sit there. Because I think they stock daily, don't they?
Run out. They truckloads
at night. Yeah. I think.
Well, and so we've had luck, and I don't actually what I was describing with the where I found the eggs, although that little bodega did not seem to have much for paper products at all, but it does seem to be like if you're around where there's like little, you know, like the gas stations or the little bitty, you know, the 7-Elevens, that sort of thing, that seems to be where people are more likely to score the unusual.
That's what I tried that, and I couldn't find anything there either. Yeah, I mean, I did eventually get some, but that's some of the places I did try as well, like the smaller stores.
Yeah,
hoping I'd score. It's got a lot of people that live here, so it's, you know.
Yeah, it's a lot of asses.
A lot of asses to wipe. And the people are staying home and they're pooping more.
Yeah, they are. Shouldn't be. 'Cause we have, they can't buy eggs and a bunch of other food.
So, on the weekends, I usually make breakfast, like bacon and eggs, and it's, my wife will have like 2 eggs, and me and each of the boys usually 3 eggs, right? So that's like almost a dozen eggs for one breakfast, right? So, 2 dozen eggs over a weekend isn't really much, that's kind of normal almost, So when we were at Costco last week, they had a pallet of them that there was like, I think it's 2 dozen eggs in a thing. It's the farm raised ones that are kind of brown eggs,
Mm-hmm.
That's the ones I get. So I'm like, all right, Seth, just grab like 2 of those, then we're good for 2-3 weeks, So he comes walking out, and there was an employee standing out the outside of the refrigerator. He's like, "Oh, no, sorry, you can only take 1." I'm like, "Oh, really? Okay." And he's like, "But you can take 1 of everything in this room if you want." And I look over, I'm like, there was a 5 dozen egg thing. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll get 5 dozen eggs then instead of 4.
Oh, okay.
But I guess that, maybe that helps somebody else out that only wanted 2 dozen eggs or whatever, So I got, 3 dozen eggs right now still. So
eat some omelets.
Yeah.
You're lucky I don't know where you live anymore, Gak.
Yeah.
I knew your old address.
You hear something downstairs, you turn on the light, and Carrie's like taking eggs and putting them in.
Exactly.
As far as the toilet paper, so like 3-4 weeks ago, probably 3 weeks ago, we legitimately were getting low. And I always buy my toilet paper at Costco, the Kirtland brand. And I go to the one by my work, and I go in there. I'm like, holy shit! They're like completely sold out of all the Kirtland ones, and they were like the nicer one, the Charmin or whatever, whatever brand it was, a nicer brand. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll get that because we're almost out, So a good thing I got it. I'm like, a week later, you can't get it anywhere, So
yeah,
I've clogged too many toilets with Charmin. It's my enemy.
Toys.
I use a lot of TP. It's like if they got Sherman, I'm like, before I start wiping, I'm like, is there a plunger in this bathroom? Right.
Oh yeah, yeah, because they're thicker, right?
There's another thing. Everyone is at home, and they're all doing number 2 at home versus some of those number 2s.
Yeah, that's what Mako's saying. Yeah.
Oh, I missed that part. Yeah.
Very. Yeah.
All right, got a garden hose out back. Yeah. Just like how the dogs.
I was about to say the dogs are going to be like, "Hey,
Gleek." Gleek posted, "You filthy animal."
I don't have the RRC.
You don't wanna.
She's a squirter.
It's one of those text images that with a lot of different characters that makes up a bigger image.
Yeah,
it's a big wiener. And it says,
so is everybody
inside your TP?
So has everybody been pretty much homebound the last week for the most part?
Yep.
Everybody here?
Not me.
Yeah,
no,
you're
that's
essential.
right. Not Dave. Yeah.
Well, I've been off the last 4 days, but I go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What's it like out there? Does it feel different, or is it empty, or what? It's got to be weird, right?
I work at a university, so it's already.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's already mellow as it is, but I am 90% of the time I'm in a downtown medical campus, so there's nobody around. I'm not really dealing with too much, as far as.
There hasn't been a rape in weeks.
Sorry. I know about that. Yeah, I wonder if crime's down.
Yeah.
Well, everyone's nervous that crime's going to go up because there's empty buildings and stuff. And
true.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's still soon.
Go in and steal some toilet paper.
But there's a hell of a lot more eyes on spotlight on the people that are out and about now because of it.
And there's pretty good surveillance cameras everywhere now too, compared to last time around when there was like riots and shit, in the mid 90s. So.
Oh.
Have you guys been going to the grocery store and stuff? I went today.
A little bit.
Trying not to, but if I have to get something, I'll get
it. They were like in the local chain in upstate New York, Wegmans. I walk in, the woman's like, all these carts have been sterilized. She's saying that it was pretty mellow during the day and there was hardly anybody there. It was a good time to go. And I'm like, Yeah. I mean, I felt there wasn't anybody.
You should wipe down your products too, because those got stalked by people, and you don't know how long ago that was. Probably that night. And so you should either that or put it aside for 3 days. Let the coronavirus die if it's on there. You got to think about that stuff.
See, we don't have as much here because we're upstate New York. Like all that New York is like, I mean, there's some cases, maybe 50, 60, 70 in all of where I live, but it's not like New York City. They're on top of each other.
Oh yeah, New York is real bad right now.
And then you got all the international
subways and
people. They're coming back from wherever visiting. It's a constant turnover.
Tight spaces. Yeah.
It's places like maybe Minneapolis for Jim, and I don't know how Denver is. I mean, you guys, California, and I don't know about Canada either. How's Ottawa boy doing up there?
So as of about 4 minutes ago, it's lockdown essential services. The hammer just came down, but Home Depots are still good for some reason. The nail salons that have been open this whole time that were told to whoop, just got told that if they're still open, they're in bigger crap than they already are. Same with hair salons and all that. LCBOs, beer stores. Can't believe I'm saying this. Pot shops are essential services. Otherwise they might be missing some front doors.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Hey, I'll just say I am grateful when I found that out because San Francisco made that determination. California did recently, and my dog is on the CBD with a THC tincture to 20 to 1.
Her dog's a pothead.
Yeah, my dog. Yeah, so I was like, I'd feel so badly if like I couldn't. Like all of a sudden,
he feels
she had to
better though, right? I mean, because he has pain.
It totally helps. I have 2 dogs on it. One with Dozer, my border collie. I don't know if it really helps him, but Kaya, my blonde dog who barks all the time.
Yeah.
She can. After I put her on it, she'll jump back. She's jumping back up on the sofa and things like that.
Sleeping a lot more.
Well, that'd be hard to tell.
All your Oreos.
Eating all your Doritos.
Doritos. That's what I was going to say.
Going after all the munchies.
Yeah, that's great. You know what's good about that too is that instead of like going to a vet and then giving you like a prescription for like pain medicine, because that just rips their liver apart. And eventually what ends up happening is your dog or cat has complications with its liver because you've been giving it pain meds for all this time. But with CBD, you just get a sleepy doggy.
Yeah. She's not even, she's always sleepy, but
yeah, dogs are sleepy anyway.
I know, right? Yeah.
So what changes it really?
Yeah, I can't tell the difference at that at all. But yeah, it definitely, she has a lot of arthritis in her lower back and like the
Andrew, how many hours does the dog sleep a day usually? Like, isn't it, don't you know the number? It's probably a high, right?
1,000.
Dogs sleep a day? Oh yeah. So I was thinking they're awake a day, probably about 2-3 minutes for the walk.
And then the rest they sleep.
Lazy. Well, I mean, but I've got lazy dogs.
Yeah. Well, all dogs, a lot of them are, they like to sit there and sleep with you and hang out.
Yeah, they're loving this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that on the news. They're like, yeah, we're all sad that we're quarantined all that, but dogs are loving it.
Yeah.
Master's home all day. I don't have to cry when they leave.
Ends, And I will love him, and I'll stroke him, and I'll pet him, and I'll call him Fred.
Yeah.
Or what's that line from Up?
Yeah, dogs are loving this.
I can't remember.
You gotta have some more viruses hit.
Yeah.
I looked at somewhere when you have like a kid who's grown up, when they look back on the coronavirus, like, what do you remember? Well, I remember I didn't have to go to school. I slept in,
played video games all day.
Home. Yeah. Like my daughter, she helped me paint the other day. My son,
I graduated high school at the age 25.
Yeah.
I know. I've been playing Doom Eternal that came out. God, that game is so fun, so addicting, and so violent. So you guys remember the old classic Doom, right? The classic Doom that was on PCs.
I don't remember that one at all.
So what's great is that they took all those characters and just made them killer ZBrush sculpted monsters that are so. And every time you do like a close up kill, it's not always the same exact animation. So sometimes you'll just break their arm backwards or their bone pops out. You shove the bone through their mouth. I mean, brutal kills like that, or taking your chainsaw, going down the middle of it like something out of a cartoon, and they spit like a banana.
I like how like the chainsaw like hits like hard spots.
Bones, yeah, and it has different sounds
Slows
too.
down a little. Oh God!
And their arms will pop off from the saw. It's done. Just check it out on YouTube. It's
Rip
such
out
a good game.
their eye and shove it in their mouth.
Oh yeah, or sometimes they'll take a grenade like in Starship Troopers and shove it in them, and then you jump off, and then the thing just explodes like in Starship Troopers, like boom. Oh, it's so fun. Anyway, that's a great. I played that all weekend. Oh my god, I'm almost at the end, but super fun. Yeah, I highly recommend that. Oh, I got two news items too, by the way, real quick. Andrew, did you see New Wave Toys that they're releasing the charger thing, the change machine is being released? How do they get that done, but not Dragon Slayer?
Have they been sitting on it for months or something?
I don't know.
Well, I thought I saw an email that said they're back in production now.
Really?
The Dragon
I
Slayer.
think they're back to tooling.
Yes, that's right. And they showed a
Yeah.
mold, a machined mold part. Yeah.
But to their credit, like I think it's been 2 months since that all shut down, and if they get back up to speed now, their projected release date's basically the old date plus 2 months. So, to their credit, it seems like they would have hit it if if
I think they would have hit it. Yeah, it was the coronavirus messed it all up.
Yeah.
I wonder what I'll get first, the New Wave or my actual Dragon's Lair. Border shut down, so I can't. I told you, last week, the guy wanted to give me my deposit back, and I'm like, no, you keep it. I want the game. I can wait forever. Well, I can wait 6 months if that's need be.
Yeah, we don't want your kind up here anymore.
Yeah.
we locked you out.
I threw it out there. Someone else did too, to have them make a Tron mini, just because that's such a cool looking cabinet.
That would be a great one.
Even though it would be really hard to play with the little trigger and all that. But they said they were toying with the idea, but the problem is that Disney doesn't want to release the licensing for it. So he says that's going to be really hard to get.
How about like Tapper? That might be going too.
Yeah, that's been thrown around. There's been a few games. Robotron's been thrown around. I know what game would you guys want if you wanted another mini? Besides Jim, because he doesn't get any of them.
Yeah.
Nope.
Unless there's a Cheyenne one.
Yeah, Cheyenne. Hey, that'd be kind of cool. A little gun on it.
The trigger thing has to be big enough for one finger to get in there.
Yeah.
Gotta put a toothpick in there and pull it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know.
They could maybe do Marble Madness. I mean, because they've got the.
That would
trackball
work.
Oh.
That would work good, real good.
Not
little
two-player.
trackball.
I don't know. I need two hands.
Two-player, yeah, but you could easily do one player.
Yeah, two-player might work.
On the trackball.
I only doggy paddle. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
Who's the hell?
Tapper, I think, would be a pretty
Princess
pretty
Bride.
good one too.
Yeah.
Tapper probably.
That's a cool looking cab.
Yeah.
Yes,
too,
I
so-
try to think of like an iconic cabinet that's really cool looking.
Yeah. I bet they'll do some.
I
go
vote
ahead, Sharon.
iRobot with the.
That
I'm going to give you a
works.
little bitty Hall effects joystick.
Yeah, there you go.
And I robot that works.
Yes, exactly. That finally I'd have one that works.
And you can play.
You're not the only one though. When I watch YouTube videos, everybody when they do the tour of the arcade, and here's the iRobot, and it doesn't work.
Yeah. You know why? Because the power
Everybody.
supply is a piece of shit.
Yeah, everybody has problems
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, I should. I might. Maybe I'll poke the fellow who's working on mine. Be like, hey, so I'm guessing you're quarantined. And
Yeah,
what
aren't
you
you done
doing?
yet?
Yeah.
Food Fight might be a good one. They actually make.
Yeah.
I've seen like mini gimbal sticks, like the Vectrex. Isn't that kind of like a gimbal stick? The way the little stick kind of moves around.
I think is that a rubber base that makes it recenters it on.
It does
Carrie,
recenter.
Carrie would know, right?
Maybe I'm wrong. 'cause
Yeah, but I don't know what a gimbal stick is.
They
Sorry.
have like there's like guides that the stick goes in, and then and those move
Ooh.
potentiometers. So there's like 2 potentiometers on the housing, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Does that sound right, Andrew? I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Never taken it.
There's 2 potentiometers.
Yeah,
and
I've
then
never...
the joystick has
2.
like there's like 2 different rails that the shaft of the stick kind of guides through it, and it and it turns the potentiometer. So like depending on how far you push in that direction, it turns the speed up in that direction, kind of like a Hall effect. But
so it goes faster the harder you push on it?
Which is what a Hall effect effectively does.
Just
but it's doing it with a potentiometer instead. I believe that's how the food fight stick works.
Maybe,
but yeah, I know I've seen like miniature versions of the gimbal stick, but yeah.
I think Burger Time a real Burger Time.
Yeah, when you think about iconic cabinets,
that's a cool cab.
Real Burger Time.
Yeah, not well because they have someone released a Burger Time, but it doesn't look like the cabinet right. It plays the NES version, which I don't know why they still do that.
That's the worst.
Why do they do that? Yeah, they could just get the ROM and throw it on there. It's like, you dummies. Yeah, so I think Burger Time would be a cool one if they did it right, which they would. But yeah, and I don't know how they would do Tron with that little joystick, and it would probably break off with a little trigger on it.
Don't you already have one of those? It's a mod in your Tron pin, isn't it?
I do.
You do.
Yeah. It doesn't have a trigger, but it has a little joystick.
And Mock, I'm sure you have. It's not playable. I'm sure you have it too. The one that was that limited release at the Comic-Con. The Tron
yeah, that's in my Tron shrine.
Yeah.
I showed Andrew my Tron shrine. He came over.
It's multi-story.
It's multi-story Tron shrine.
End of line.
Yes. That's fun stuff.
So have any of the rest of you guys, I know Jimbo got an awesome pin. Any of the rest of you guys have anything interesting? I think Andrew got something recently. Like just in the last week. You posted a picture.
Yeah. So I got a Hypersports board, and then the kit to expand that so that it plays track and field.
Track and field. Oh, what are you going to put it in?
Super Street Sports 2 Hyper.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't know you had a track and field. I saw you had the board, and then all of a sudden I'm like,
it's right behind Circus Charlie.
Oh,
because the 2 Konamis like back to back.
So and then they do like a rearranged or something.
There's like a rearranged version, so it actually matches the events together.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I heard about this. Yeah.
That's High Score Saves did that, right?
It is. Yeah. So
it's on Earth.
Actually, just went through the install today. It's definitely the most involved.
I bet.
Is there like a lot of daughter cards or boards or
several little daughter
ribbons? And
I actually posted the picture in.
You have to flash things or replace ROMs or what do you got to do to do that?
Yeah, all the ROMs are getting replaced. There's several daughter boards for it. There's actually a ribbon cable that has to connect all the daughter boards together. Some soldering. I have to desolder this.
I'm out.
Z8.
One eye of your Hypersports and 2.
Yeah, I know.
Holy shit! All right, I saw the picture, but I didn't click on it. I didn't click on it. Now I zoomed in on the picture. I'm like, holy fuck! I see 3 daughter boards, a bunch of ROMs, and some sockets, and 2 full board. Jesus Christ!
I just be busy with that on home arrest.
Home arrest.
It's a Frankenstein, is what that is.
What do you call it?
And there's actually the 2 on the far right. There's kind of 3 daughter boards there too, because those are multi-chip, separate decks.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's and then actually, if you look at the top of those EPROMs, like in the middle. Each one of those has a socket for ribbon cable that has to get daisy chained between all of them.
How are you supposed to mount all that shit?
Yeah, what do you put it to? You got to create your own mounting kit or something, right?
No. It actually it all is either socketed or I'll be soldering in sockets for it. So,
because I think normally on the cabinet Dave got for me, anyways, it has there's like a cage with slots in it, and then there is a little bit of a gap, so you could You should have clearance. I would
should be clearance. Yeah, should
clearance
be in there.
Yeah,
Clearance,
you beat me to it.
No issues for clearance. Yeah, if you look at that like zoomed out, it just kind of looks like two PCBs side by side. But yeah, the whole right PCB, everything in the bottom there is all fucking extra stuff.
Jesus.
What's scary about like arcade machines that have like 5 boards in them to me is like there's so much more shit that can go wrong, and it's much harder to troubleshoot of what
Gorf,
it is.
That's one.
Right.
We're looking at that. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, Gorf was that looks bad.
There literally is, I think, like 4 or 5 boards.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the original 4 board for Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
So I'm excited. Yeah, I don't know when I'm going to tackle that, but soon, because this is
the time.
Get back into work, on some arcade stuff, and it's warm enough out here ish.
Do you have any?
It's almost 50 out here.
Besides that, do you have anything that you're thinking about selling and then buying something that you've had an eye on, or something that you've always wanted, or?
No, I need
not really a seller's market right now. It's
not really. Yeah,
FYI.
No, I know it isn't. It isn't at all.
I do need to get rid of that the Tato cabinet and get that down to crafty, and then I gotta sell off that centipede. But
yeah.
I want an Oompa Loompa now.
But that's not really selling for. That's just selling for getting some space back.
Yeah.
But speaking of centipede, I think I might have talked about that before. My next door neighbor has a centipede.
Oh no shit!
Like
12 inches.
When he saw me with all the games right after we moved in, he's like, "Hey, you like work on fixing those games and stuff?" I'm like, "Okay, hold on, I can do a little bit of repairs, but anyways, so
just a fuse."
I can make a shit out of a marquee bracket.
You think?
Yes, exactly. You need some new metal parts for your machine.
Everything works, but the monitor. All it needs is a cap kit.
Yeah.
Oh, my buddy Dylan.
Yeah, exactly. So he, I've been here a year and a half or so now. So like, go fast forward like 6 or 8 months, and we chatted again about it. And he's like, yeah, the monitor went out, and I just pulled it out. I threw it away, and I'm gonna get an LCD screen. And they're like, no,
no,
you better not have, And
then, you told them what's up.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't do that. I'm like, bring it over here, and I'll have a monitor I can plug into it. We can test it out, try to get a regular monitor back into it.
Oh,
but then like that was it on that conversation. Then like another few months goes by, and he's like, yeah, come over and check it out. We just moved it into a different spot in his garage, and I look at it, I'm like, your monitor's still there. Like his recollection just, I don't know. He thought he got rid of it, but he didn't. It was still all original.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm like, all right, so still, let's figure out a time. Because usually what happens is like, I'm pulling out of the driveway to go somewhere, like, okay, when I get back, but then he's not home or whatever, So anyways, fast forward another few months, and he called and left me a message, and he's like, hey, I wanted to get together with you. This is like just a couple weeks ago. I want to get together with you and see if you can help me with the machine, or I might sell it. I don't know. Just let me know. And it's like I stopped by their house the next day and wound up talking to the wife, and she opens the door and we walk over to it, and she's like, yeah, I don't think he even wants to fix it. He just wants to get rid of it. And so I'm like, well, I'd buy it for the right price. I don't know what you guys are thinking value wise, And she's like, well, you tell me what you think it's worth. I mean, so what would your guys' opinion be? Like a fair price?
Is it working?
Well, it's not. Okay, I assume it plays blind, but for sure the monitor's not working. And it hasn't. They've had it for like 20 years.
Wait, but you've never plugged it in?
I've never seen it plugged in or anything.
Well, because like the monitor not working could just be the sync issue.
It could be.
It could be a big problem.
But
it could be everything is wrong with it. Board, power supply, and monitor.
Let's say
which is usually my luck.
It could be gutted on the inside. You've seen there's a monitor in it. But
just assume it's complete. But we'll probably need a monitor rebuild, power supply rebuild, and a trackball rebuild.
What does the cabinet look like?
I would give it an 8 out of 10, maybe 9 out of 10 condition. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. No water damage.
No, my set.
The
$250, $300
peeled back a little bit. How much?
$250, $300 I'd offer.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Spot on. So I basically said, I'm your neighbor. I feel like this is a fair price on this. $300. I would go $300 on it. And I said, I've gotten games for free. I've gotten games for $50, $100. But a true value on this, in my opinion, in its current case, is about $300. And I think that's a fair price. I said, if you got it all rebuilt and working and dialed, you might be able to get $600 or $800. I don't know. Of course you can find online $1,500, $2,000 list price. That doesn't mean that's what they're selling for,
Right.
The usual spiel.
So we just kind of left it at that. She's like, okay, I'll tell them. She's like, I really have no idea what these are worth. And I'm like, okay, just let me know. So that was, but now we've had all this coronavirus shit going on. So
you're going to get it for 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a roll of toilet paper.
Yes, perfect. Yeah. And I don't really have space for it, but I would take it, So
yeah, you don't usually let that stop you.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I know I got a call.
Anyways, that's my centipede related story, I guess. Yeah.
I got a call from my friend who owns the bar who wants to get rid of his Simpsons. I don't have the room. And I know
Wait, the arcade game or the pin or what?
The arcade game. The monitor.
Take it and resell that sucker.
I know, but I just put it in my garage, and my son he wants it so bad. What am I gonna do? Get it and then say we're gonna sell it because it's too big? It's like he already just beat it on MAME this afternoon. With multiple credits. I don't want it. I'd rather get NBA Jam.
Put it in his room.
He wanted to put the Gallery Cabaret in his room, which we could almost do because it's small. But
so,
I'm like,
Dave, put out a feeler. Say like, if you know any other collectors in your area, like
Carrie's been playing a lot of Altered
Simpsons?
Beast.
I might be able to get a Simpsons, and what do you want to trade for it?
I want a pole position. That's why I thought if I got a Simpsons, someone might. That's kind of like a level, even But I don't want to have to. I'd have to put it in my garage.
Like a trade.
That's not even.
That's what you're going to say.
That is not. I mean, even a cockpit. That's not an even trade.
You could get 10 pole positions for
10.
For what Simpsons?
What Simpsons probably like
$2,000.
$2,000.
Well, it's all
25.
original. It's not like minty restored. I mean, it is an original cabinet, and
or a pole position.
Like shit, but I don't
if it's got the original joysticks,
right.
That's,
it was coming with an extra monitor and I think an extra PCB.
Holy fuck,
I think I probably could have got it for $400. Maybe
because I would take that in a heartbeat.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but I put it right there.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
And then I'd sell it, and after the coronavirus scare.
No, but what am I going to do with my little son who's like, "Oh, you got a Simpsons"? Like,
it doesn't work. I don't know what happened.
I mean, honestly, like I know there's
lie to the child.
There's this gray area.
Emulators.
There's this gray area that we all talk about before,
MAME.
Like
right, Mark?
Being a flipper and all that kind of stuff. But one way to look at it is, it could be something you could trade, and
that's
the person you're trading with is going to be doing the same exact thing. Like he picked up a machine for $100 or $200, and he's looking to trade up for something he wants that's about the same value. So
it's also bad timing because now my wife's not going to have a salary because she works for American Airlines.
Yeah.
So I'm like, do I want to spend $300 on something I want to trade later? Then I got to put it in my garage because I don't want to bring it down because there's no room down here.
Yeah, there's not an instant turnover.
No, and my son factor because he really wants it. And then
if there's a spare working PCB, you might be able to sell that for the $300 you're buying it for.
Just get my money back instantly.
Well, Dave, I still don't know what I'm going to do with my Simpsons that I've had in storage for a while. That I'm going to I'll restore it at some point, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it. So, that's something to keep in mind. Maybe we can work out a trade down the road if you're worried about it now.
Well, no, I mean, my son beat it today. Like he just beat it. He played it on MAME. How that's not going to have any staying power. And I'm not a Simpsons fan.
Yeah,
he is. I mean, it's neat if I had unlimited space, but I'd rather have that Simpsons. I mean, it's a big game. I got rid of the off-road because it was so wide.
Yeah, the control.
Like I put two games for that off-road.
I always wanted an off-road. I always thought it'd be a great corner game because it's the 3-player. Like that. Like
an outside
great
corner.
in a corner.
I always liked the 2-player because how often do you have 3 people?
Oh, you got to have the 3-player.
I know.
There's
that's like saying Warlords
I've
2-player versus 4-player. Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about it. Yeah. Anyhow,
but Hill Islands.
Yeah, it's like it's so funny. The longer that I've had that project, well, it's not really it's a working game, but it's but it's just been in storage for so long, unrestored, and it needs. There's no way I'm gonna get well unless there's some deal I can't refuse. But the longer that it's been there, it's been like, am I gonna keep this or not? Because these prices are just like ridiculous. That's kind of why I want to do with my Daddy East cabinet that my Turtles is in. I want that to be my Dungeons and Dragons game, but then I'm like, I don't need any more. At one point I had 3 beat 'em ups in storage. I had The Simpsons, I had my Turtles, and I had Final Fight. And I'm like, I only need one. Like for me at least, I only need one beat 'em up. That's challenging. That's good. And ultimately, I sold Final Fight, or I sold the board because prices.
Mhm.
I wonder if any of those beat 'em ups. I should look on YouTube to see if anybody can get through like Simpsons without,
one credit.
With one credit, yeah. I wonder if
My
that's
son
even
asked me that
possible.
today. Daddy, have you ever seen anyone beat Simpsons? I go, no, not till you just did it. I go, but I'm not. I didn't.
With one credit though, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I gave him 100.
Yeah.
I used to be when I only had Turtles. That was my one and only game. When I first got into this hobby, and that I didn't one credit it, but I could get about halfway through the game on one at one point. That was my best. I could get to like the 4th or 5th stage, and then as soon as you get to the skateboarding level, it's like you're fucked.
Yeah, it was all out the window. When I first built my MAME cabinet, my daughter had her friends spending the night, and I set them up on the machine and put a bunch of credits in for Bubble Bobble, and they
Not
were
Excelsior?
Not Excelsior, no.
That's game. Nice.
No.
Way to bring it back, Gak.
Thanks, Gak. Yeah. No, I put it on Bubble Bobble, and they were on that all night. I think they played it for like at least a couple hours.
There's a jingle that'll get stuck in your head for a while.
But they were loving it because that's a great game. Like I don't know. I'll say a girls game, but it's so cute, and you pick up lollipops and
fuck.
hamburgers.
I remember when I remember renting that.
You blow
on,
bubbles out of your
Nintendo.
mouth. Your cute dragon.
I remember I was at my neighbor's house, and he had rented it on Nintendo, and we were up for like, I felt like we played that game for like it's a long game. There's so many levels.
Yeah.
And we were playing that for hours. I can just remember, and it's like even at that young age, it's like this is
100 levels, I think. Yeah.
This is getting so
100 levels,
repetitive.
and then I think do you have to
There's
play
a boss
it through again or something, or
yeah.
I know that to get the true ending in the arcade, you have to do some crazy shit in it. You have to pick up a certain thing on a certain level. It's, if you ever look that up, it's insane what you have to do to actually get the true ending.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, with the true ending is on YouTube, of course, but the little dragons turn into little kids, and their parents come down and stuff. It's really
spank
weird.
them. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of complex stuff you have to do to get the
Boys
true,
have a
true
vagina.
ending. Boys have a vagina. Girls have a penis.
Oh yeah, that was
was
right.
some
I
of your
forgot
fastest-
that little splices. Did I ever? I don't think I saved that in here.
Oh, you didn't save it?
Oh, come on, man.
Should have saved that one.
It took you all 5 minutes. It took
I had
you
to
all
look
5 minutes to
see.
do.
Fuck, I don't even remember where I was feeling pretty good last week.
Yeah, you were in a happy place.
Boys have a vagina. Girls have a penis.
Tim was all quiet for like 10 minutes or something.
I
while he
know.
was
Yeah, I
working
think you
on
went
it.
off. Yeah, I think you turned off your camera.
Yeah. And then all of a
Jim-
sudden I hear that.
Jim and I were talking about it, and he's like, I'm going to do that next time we're on. And then he disappears for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I know what he's doing.
His
I know
editing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't even know
And
where
And he
I
was
sent her
laughing the whole time, I'm sure.
Oh, I have another news thing I wanted to bring up. Andrew, did you see the Half-Life game has been released for
Yeah, no,
VR?
I haven't even downloaded it yet.
I haven't either. I haven't bought it yet, but I will.
Yeah.
The reviews have been stellar, though. They've been saying it's the best Oculus Rift game.
Oh, this might be it.
Boys
Yep.
have a vagina. Girls
There you go.
have a penis.
I labeled it for kindergarten cop. I labeled it Kind Cop Reverse.
Oh, you're
All right.
Yeah.
Makes
It's
sense.
not very. Yeah, it makes some sense, but I should have really changed
Reverse
that.
the parts.
Wasn't that
Strike that, reverse it.
martinis you're drinking?
So
Last
Andrew,
week,
have you watched
no, I
anything
was
on
drinking,
Nope, not yet. Nothing.
Okay.
Oh, I was drinking that rosé last
No,
week.
it looks fun.
Yeah. I drank a whole bottle of rosé and then I switched to hard seltzers, I think.
It's too bad we don't have more VR people here.
Yeah.
Because we could do the big screen VR. That's super fun. We haven't done that in a while, but we should. So if anytime, like if I want to watch a stream a movie, it'll play in a giant movie theater. And if you have VR, it feels like you're sitting in the movie theater watching a movie.
You can like look at each other and interact a little bit.
Yeah, and when you're talking, your mouth moves and stuff. Yeah, and you could jump into other people's rooms too, and they're watching a movie or whatever. So it's pretty cool.
Me and Carrie were talking over the weekend. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean.
No,
to.
go ahead. I
just with the whole quarantine and stuff, and everyone hunkered down and whatnot. We were talking about maybe increasing the frequency of our shows, like doing another one on Friday or something. Since you guys have game night on Thursday.
Yeah.
How about Saturday morning, 8 a.m.?
Oh no!
Oh no!
To sleep.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you guys there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
something to think about. I mean, we don't have to
Yeah.
decide right now, but
I'm
I'm
always-
upping frequency of my live streams. I'm doing one tomorrow. I think you guys saw me post about that. I'm going to do play versus Castlevania. I put a nice warning out on Clav saying it's not kid friendly because I'm going to be cursing up a storm because that game's going to piss me off.
I heard something about a new Castlevania on. Let me see what that was.
Alexa, order 100 pool noodles. Yes.
Yeah, the chat's always in a good time because since there's not that many people in there, I leave it on the chat or text to voice or whatever. So whatever people type in there, doesn't matter what platform they're on. It's like Siri's voice, so I can get a little entertaining.
Yeah, it's some fun with it.
So
I'm definitely down from. Oh, go ahead, Gak.
No.
Last Thursday, I got caught up with other shit, and then I'm like, damn it, Jimbo's on the arcade radio tonight. So I quickly got into. I was on my phone. I got on the YouTube thing. I wanted to troll you. That was my whole goal, was just to troll you. It's like in capital letters, boring. Just like keep doing
nice.
that. I caught it right. You guys probably didn't see
it's funny. I told them right away. I'm like, you guys should be grateful. I don't have my soundboard up. There can only one engineer on.
Okay.
But speaking of feeling good, like with the exception of Brian, I know Adam and Mark. They were feeling pretty loose.
Getting lit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Drinking?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I thought they weren't going to drink on that show.
Oh, not on the show I'm on.
Oh, okay. I watched Carrie's all of it.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
No, they wanted to do variations
only because of you, Carrie's why I watched.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
I honestly, I wish they started interviewing you right off the bat because I wanted I don't know I wanted Carrie to like be more interactive with it because she's just kind of sitting there and kind of waiting and then when they finally started interviewing her, then it's like, oh, okay, now this is a show.
Well, and I missed the first part, but because during like a lot of the antics and things like that, but which worked out because they start so early. I agreed to do it, but then I didn't
West
realize.
Coast people, it's
because I think they started
like 5 o'clock.
They started 7. 7. Well, for you guys, it's like 5 o'clock.
Yeah. It was like that's right, and like I don't usually get off of work till 5:30, so I did in fact leave work early that day so I could get home. Because when he first mentioned it, I was like, because I think I found out what time it started like the day before or something, and I was like, oh, I guess I could just stay at work and do it from work. Like for me to be home by 5 o'clock, I'd have to leave work at probably like 3:30.
Oh wow,
which is a couple hours early for me.
Yeah.
I
was trying to decide too. I was trying to decide too if I want to join because they're like, well, you can either it's if you want, you can be there for the pre-show all the way to the end here to the times, which is what we'd prefer, or just 8 to 9 or whatever, Central Time, my time. But I was like, well, these are my Minnesota dudes, so I'll join. And I didn't realize they're going to start like during the pre-show already. They had their martinis going and stuff. So I'm like, this could be interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right.
It was I thought it was a fun show. I enjoyed.
It was.
I watched some of it. I enjoyed. I want to watch the whole thing. I kind of forgot. And I'm like, damn it! I'm at work. I was doing nothing.
They do play a lot of copyrighted music though, which I was like, wow. No wonder all the time when I try to watch one of their shows, it's like shut down by YouTube, and so a lot of their shows get pulled, but somehow I think they get them back on. But no, Carrie's, yeah, they did play a lot of music on your show. Yeah,
the name that tune thing that they do or whatever. I mean, and it's fun that people are obviously enjoying being in their IRC chat and playing games and things like that. Like that's awesome. They, we're just there's so many different of the arcade podcasty kind of things, and it's just they're all just very different and.
It's a very different show than ours. Ours is like all over the place.
We're a group of friends that get drunk and hang out together. They have structure.
They have exactly.
They have structure.
Somewhat structure.
Well, it was funny. We got quite a ways through, and then like Adam let an F-bomb or something slip. I'm like, oh, here this time I was being good the whole damn show, and
he said the F word. The F word.
Yeah, he's like, I don't really. Yeah, it was. Yeah, they were definitely. It was a lot more low key or
that
loose.
Tour of the arcade that he was doing that we couldn't see it on YouTube, and you're the only one that. Or Adam got back. It's like, listen, you guys could see it, but we couldn't see it.
Yeah, Brian, he was having trouble. Yeah,
I wanted to see. I was like, oh, this is exciting, and then I'm like, well, I'm just seeing Skype.
I think the doctor needs to operate on his Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Nice. Oh wow, Mike's in Mr. Lethargy's in IRC. Wow,
and Chris Rad is in there as well.
Oh, that was funny. Speaking of Chris Rhodes was in briefly in the YouTube chat on Thursday. That was funny. He texted me and he's like, what did he say? You better be nice or it was here we go. He's like, I'm watching you. Be nice, you cocksucker.
Yeah.
You called out Time Runner for Bob Zarzadek or whatever.
Oh,
you're heckling him.
It was a good time. I had fun with the Minnesota dudes. They're reminiscing about old parties and things like that. So, we were all drinking pretty heavily. I think I was drinking like old fashions. Like I had like 3 old fashions throughout the course of that 2 hours, and so I was just like, woohoo! Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. Did they bring up asking about drinkers at all?
Nah, not about drinkers. Actually, the funny thing is, okay, so they talked about, or they were going to talk about a lot about. It was kind of played out like it was going to be an interview about my eyes world record, but honestly, things kept because we were going off track out of their structure or whatever, off script and not scripted, but like off what their
topics,
their schedule was, and. So things kept getting delayed, and it got to the point where they were going to talk about eyes, and eyes was actually the world record stuff was a very small portion of it. It was kind of funny, which is fine by me because it's fucking eyes,
Well, shit, man. I mean, the way things are going, Grinkfest might be the only arcade event this year. Like,
will Jax make it or not?
I don't think so. I really doubt it, to be honest. Yeah. It seems like everything else, like what, the Olympics is not in July or something?
No, they postponed it for a year.
A year. It just seems like highly likely maybe be awesome if they do it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's not till July. I know we could have a year off and not have to haul our stuff, and our backs could heal.
Yes.
Don't tell Colby, but
yes, right.
I'd be okay with it.
I wouldn't. I love doing that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I know you got the
at 2 a.m.
The 2 a.m. drop off where we're like at the lift gate.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, my neighbors love it too.
Moving your Tempest cocktail
Yeah. I've successfully gotten out of bringing that, but it's true. We need 3 people to move it out, and we do not have 3 people. Gino had told him like,
how many games you bring?
I think I brought 10.
Would you ever just want to bring like 2 and just like it's so much work? Like just
I know it is. It's a tremendous set. It's a mix, and my kids don't bark, assholes. They're totally gonna go fucking bark.
Time for some more CBD.
Yeah, give them a whole bunch.
Yeah, trying to dose them both up. I know, not just the one with the arthritis, and they're both getting it.
Either that or the barking is their version of like laughing when you're high.
Their version of laughing.
Eyes all bloodshot.
Rough.
Right. He just wags your tail to one side. All whack.
They walk in circles.
But seriously, it's and Gak, please chime in because you do the same thing of hauling all your stuff. It's a pain in the ass, and it's like I kind of hate it before, and I definitely hate it afterwards.
Every year, it's like, do I really want to do this again?
Right? Yeah, but when they're there and you're seeing people play your games
and enjoying them,
and if you hang out by one of your games, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Any fucking game, you hang out and like somebody will be playing it and be like, you end up chatting like, oh yeah, this is actually mine. Oh my god, this is so much fun. I haven't played this in so long.
Yeah.
Or, and you see, like when I see a parent and a child playing Karate Champ, I'm like,
right, yeah.
Yep.
It makes it all worth it.
I'm in, yeah.
One of my favorites is like, Super Sprint, and then my boys will walk up and they'll just freaking dominate whoever's playing.
Is that what they do?
Like, right on, that's my boys right there.
No, that's me.
I know, right?
And then that person walked up like, fuck this game.
Yeah. These dudes have been like working up a sweat because they've been like playing for a while, and then one guy's like, I'm gonna take a break. My kids come in and just like smoke them for like a while.
Then at the end, are they like, "Oh wow, that game's pretty easy. What's the name of that again?" Oh, okay, Super Sprint. Huh? I'll have to remember that one. Yeah, I've never played this game before.
I do have to give props to the people that bring their games because I'd be paranoid as fuck to bring mine. I'd be fucking hawk around them.
Absolutely, because yours are like museum pieces.
Yeah, Jim with a tag game.
And I think
it's so paranoid. I'd be like, be more gentle on that, or don't put your hand on there.
I do like.
I don't think I vocally would, but in my head, I'd be screaming at the person.
What if someone scratched in their initials on the dashboard?
Oh,
like,
I mean, but no,
they
would be they would be in the hospital. Yeah,
well, of course, it's got all the stickers from Gak bringing it to CAX.
It'd be like a 10-year-old kid too.
Previous CAX,
Jim gets arrested for beating up a 10-year-old.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta go stop my dog from barking. I'll be right back.
I mean, I've done this though before. Like, I've looked at my games and be like, what games would I bring out to like legitimately, like even if I was bringing just one.
What is it? MGC is out in your area.
You gotta bring Cheyenne and stuff like that. Stuff that you don't
the
see
Midwest
there
Gaming Show.
Yeah, but
bring your
honestly,
Wonka.
But honestly, like, they're
break it in.
Marvel Madness is what I always end up on because I'm like, oh yeah, break those trackballs in, like really beat the fuck out of them because that's how you get really good trackballs. It just comes with playing the game a shit ton, and I don't play it enough. Like player 1, pretty good. Player 2, you can just tell it's like a brand new trackball because it's just not.
Just swap them.
Steph.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or you could bring your red tent and people would start snapping the buttons off.
Oh, yeah. Right. But now, Mike's Arcade, they're only $8 a pop or whatever they are.
I know. Well, if I were bringing my red tent back to another show, I would definitely repo buttons on it before I brought it there.
Are the balls different color? Yeah. Are the balls different color on that? On the Marvel
one's red, one's blue.
Yeah, isn't there different colored balls?
Blue and orange. I mean, they say red, but when they're translucent, when they're illuminated, it looks orange.
Oh, so you can swap them and it'll illuminate that color.
You could swap the base, the rollers and stuff. I think that's what Andrew was getting.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I guess you could do that. Okay.
The easy would just swap the whole controller left and right. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to get fancy about it, you could just swap the rollers and the bearings left and right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just take the trackballs out and drop them back in. Yeah. I mean, Red Tent, I wouldn't be too worried. Like that's one of the few games where it's so rock solid. Like I never think twice about like this isn't gonna fire up or something's gonna whatever. And it's powder coated. It's pretty
durable.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Put
That's
those
easy to
repo
move.
buttons on it and save your originals.
Yep.
'cause they're sexy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Put
Exactly.
the repos on it and throw that thing to the wolves.
Yeah.
So Mock, and I'll bring
And it's a
Andrew
big,
on this too.
Sorry, real quick, and it's
Go
a
ahead.
big deal to see that too. Like to see a red tent, and you know, like kids, like when I had that at the show, people were going crazy for it. Like, oh my god, it's Mario.
Super Mario Brothers. Yeah,
And
exactly.
they're super excited to play that.
The
Sorry,
last 2 years I meant to bring mine, but I run out of space because I've gotten a little bit smaller truck the last 2 years, which has been way nicer, I gotta say.
Easier to control. Yeah.
Well, it still fits upwards of 16 games.
Oh,
but
wow.
like that's the max, not 20 or 22 or 24 like I've brought before.
You brought 24 games to CAX?
Not all of those were mine. Like I think about 20 were mine. And I want to say I brought
Still
I want to say I brought
That's a lot of work.
24. I only brought 20.
Yeah,
A lot
I
of
think,
work to
I think it
unload
was
that
like maybe
shit.
25 games
Nice.
I brought, and 20 of them were mine. I think
So
the
much
biggest
work.
year.
I know.
Yeah, well, luckily
I'll
I have
bring
2
Mega
teenage
Touch.
boys, so
I'll bring Mega Touch.
Yeah,
68
and
pounds.
in a bar
Yes.
table.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
you go. Play it all you want.
Actually, I'd probably bring Eyes because that's a light game and that's uncommon.
Yeah. Okay, what people
Yeah,
do.
I don't know. I think I've seen Eyes there once or twice. Yeah.
So I was gonna say, Mock, on arcade sort of related news, and Andrew,
Toki.
you might have inside scoop on this. I saw the thread that Wyo did on his kit, the Knight Rider arcade machine he's working on.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You haven't seen that? So I've seen some sneak peeks on it
Ooh.
on the KLV thread. It looks freaking awesome. I mean,
Should we have him on the show and talk about it?
yeah, I think so. So it's like
All right, I'll reach out
the
to
sneak
him.
peeks I've seen. It's a Nintendo cabinet like he does all his others, right?
Yeah.
But it's like that the automotive type paint, right? That's like really high gloss. And
What
so it's
game
all
is it though?
Knight-
Knight Rider for NES?
Knight Rider for NES. That's what I would assume it would be.
Oh.
He hasn't shown any screenshots of the game or anything. He's just showing the cabinet. So the
Okay.
cabinet's all shiny black, and then where you'd have the speaker grill, it's the hood, the red light that kind of goes back and forth.
Right.
And then the actual coin door has like all those different buttons, like I don't know, smoke, or
Turbo
oil
and stuff.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So it's got like a bunch of buttons on the coin door. Then they're all like different colors and stuff. So it
Ooh,
looks
you know
freaking
how like
awesome.
an old like boom boxes, I know like feeding Wyo ideas like he needs any more of these. You know, like old boom boxes used to have like the little LED meter.
Oh,
that would go up
yes.
and down as you're making sound.
Yeah.
Like if you could take like 3 of those and stack them side by side.
Like the equalizer thing. Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so when the game was making noise, it could be doing like
Oh, that'd be so
Yes.
cool.
doing that little thing.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be cool.
It'd be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I just watched this week the Knight Rider car episode.
Yeah.
Just because it was on like
Which one?
I think the first one when it was
The first
buried
one.
in the sand.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah.
the first one?
No, that's after they kill him the first time because they play chicken
that-
with him, and he goes off the edge,
Oh.
off of like a huge cliff, and then he's found on the beach.
Oh no. Okay,
Wait,
so that
what are you
was
guys talking about? The first episode of the show?
No. The first which
with
episode?
car, which stands for what does it stand for,
Night
Andrew?
Automated Roving Robot.
Yes, I because I just watched it. But that's the second one.
That's the second episode with Carl.
All right,
Yeah.
and I didn't finish
He's-
it, but
the first
it's really
episode
bad.
he's found like in an old abandoned Night Industries.
All right, that makes sense because I didn't
warehouse.
understand. I'm like, I thought this was.
Okay.
I was just kind
Hold
of.
on. Back up. What are you guys talking about?
Night
The
Rider.
first,
Knight Rider.
the first episodes or something?
No. So
Oh, with
it's a
car.
with
No
Kit's
car?
Kit's twin.
Oh, okay.
He
The
has
kid's
like the-
twin.
Yeah. In
Huh.
the second episode, he also has the amber lights. The first episode, he has the red ones. I think.
Okay.
And what was
Interesting.
the episode with Goliath? Was that Hasselhoff with the mustache? Was that what was that? Wasn't that?
I think
it was
so.
a-
Yeah, that was Hasselhoff's evil twin, the original brother that he was originally like. His face was changed to look like. It's like the Spock. It's sort of
Yes,
evil
yes.
Spock with a goatee.
Yes, with the goats. I do like that episode.
It is, yeah. But yeah, they with Goliath.
But with
That's
the
a-
with the
that's a season
thread,
finale.
Andrew, have you seen YO's thread on KLV?
I haven't
before?
seen it yet, no.
Okay. So he just
I've-
kind
it's
of
been fucking insane.
he posted a couple teaser pics of his cabinet, like the sides and the from the control panel down, not the actual control panel. I don't think.
Is he doing side art for it?
I have no idea. Maybe. I would assume probably, but
Just
the
like
first
fixing
person.
movies.
I was gonna send him the link, but then as I went to the next page, he already chimed in. Slick Nick, of course, right? And I was like, my first thought was like, maybe he's doing a custom build for Slick Nick. I don't know. I don't think so though, because the way he chimed in, but.
There was an NES Knight Rider game. Is that what I
guess so. I don't remember it. Yeah.
I do. I remember.
You do?
It. Yeah.
It's probably awful gameplay.
No, it wasn't great, but I do. It kind of reminded me of a different perspective view of like playing Spy Hunter almost.
It seems like it should have the steering mechanism controller.
Kind of like Spy Hunter. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah. Same idea.
But I know a neighbor and I rented it and we played it. I can't remember, but exactly like feeling one way or the other about it. It's kind of a forgettable game, but I do remember it. So maybe it's not forgettable.
So Mock, do you have it on your MAME cabinet? You played some Knight Rider?
NES? I probably do. I'll look it up. I just looked on Facebook for the messenger chat with Wyo, and he's closed his account or something. So they must have a new.
Well, you can reach out to him on KLV. You could
he's more active on Instagram too, I think.
Yeah. Okay, I'll reach out to him on there.
The Rewind by Design.
Yeah, Rewind by Design. Yeah, I'll see if he wants to come on the show next week, because that'd be kind of cool for him to show off his latest invention and talk about.
And I want to say he either said it's done or almost done. Like he's like slowly sharing pictures. But yeah, it looks.
I miss
awesome.
Wyo. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's fun.
Yeah,
I miss Crafty Mech too. He should come on the show some more.
Right.
Yeah, no excuse. No.
He posts funny comments in our Slack, and it cracks me up. I kind of miss him on our show.
Yeah.
Remember when he used to yell at Orange Whip? Fuck you!
I used to that one time, but still,
it was great. That was a great moment.
No, he used to do it all the time.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Fuck you!
At least 15 times.
Yeah.
No, there's.
You know what?
That's right.
We had a few.
Orange Whip too. He needs to come back on this show.
Yeah.
That's right. He has time now.
Those are the
Keith,
three guys that were regular on this show.
And Manoman.
And Steve.
Yeah.
Manoman too.
And Adam.
Yeah.
Adam used to come on all the time.
Ian,
we must have scared him off.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
I've reached out to Adam a few times, in months past. Like
we should have had everybody on our 200th.
Yeah, I wish I.
200th episode, we could have had everybody come back on as a reunion show.
Well, where are we at? Like now, like 212. We'll just have to have like 87 or 88.
Well, maybe Tuesdays are a bad day if we do a frequency.
So
yeah,
if we up the frequency,
we'll just do one a couple times a day, and we'll be like there. But yes, no, I'd be down for doing this a couple times a week.
Season.
Yeah, do one on Friday, and maybe that's a better day.
Let's just break this up into hour increments.
Or we could do a marathon. We're gonna go 24 hours straight.
Oh shit!
We're gonna do a throwback to our early days and do a
24 hours of hangout.
Yeah.
Like it'll be Jim and Carrie, and then me and Andrew will take the second shift. And then we
like it's a fundraiser or something.
Yeah.
They can see each other sleeping and sleeping bags in the background.
Telethon. The arcade hangout telethon.
What? Donate, please.
Like somebody's gonna
falling asleep.
Oh, can you imagine? We'll do it over a weekend. It'll start like Friday at 5 p.m. and then Sunday at 5 p.m.
Oh God! Down. We raised $2.50.
Yeah.
Sorry, Steve. It's not going to be $1 beers next year.
Arcade Hangout Telethon.
Yeah.
Special
We
guest.
will read your comments on the air. Yeah.
We'll have gameplay from Jim Bodini.
I'd have to drink out of my hangover if you all did 24-hour show.
Gak will have everybody.
We'll bring on old guests like Nagi and like Jerry.
Oh yeah,
there we go.
Jerry.
Because we'll span the enough hours to where we're like during a good hours for them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll bring Chance and let him take over the show while we all take naps.
Yeah. It'd be like 7 a.m. for us, and DJ Flask is just starting to get lit because it's like 8 p.m. for him or something.
Yeah, he called me. I spoke to somebody.
Chance, here you go. Here's some purple wiring.
Oh.
Jerry
Dan.
called.
That's an old callback joke.
Yeah.
Cookies in the basement.
That was like season 2.
Oh, Cookies in the Basement show. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Get Pac-Man Dan.
Updated tour.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Just like you did your updated tour of the arcade gym.
Yeah.
You could
Everything's
have
exactly the same. It just has more cobwebs.
yeah, exactly. If
I haven't had to go to the grocery store. I've got plenty of cookies in the fridge.
There's like a half-inch layer of dust on everything.
Preservatives, man, they keep it fresh.
Yes, right.
I still bet you buy the chip.
There's like 12 chassis on his stove in his kitchen instead of 6 chassis or whatever.
Not enough
Arcade
room,
parts piled
not enough
up in
room
the
for a
kitchen.
lamp.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's an idea for a 24-hour live stream. Gak capping all of his one monitor.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Capping all of his one.
If I'm
on
drinking, no
one.
way, man. I will. I'm gonna injure myself.
Steady hands, Gak.
Yeah,
Steady
yeah.
hands.
Yes.
Just don't hold it like this. Remember.
Yes, exactly.
That's the 4 a.m. to 6
My
a.m.
signature.
show is Gak capping a monitor.
Yes.
You're gonna want to stay up with it.
I'm like nodding off,
We gotta
burning my
fill
forehead
time.
on it.
We gotta fill time of this marathon.
Yeah, we'll have to
Gaxton,
put you-
Remember, Gak, it's like this, buddy.
a 6-hour
Yes,
cap
exactly.
kit.
We'll have to wrap you in asbestos so you don't injure yourself.
Yes.
So that's smart. That's how we take advantage of Zoom over Google Hangout, because Google Hangout would cap you at like 8 hours, right?
Oh yeah,
So-
we could run this shift for 24
Dude,
hours.
we
Really?
put signs like "I'll be back at 8 a.m." Like,
There we go.
Although
Yeah.
eventually,
Yeah.
I guess would YouTube eventually would shut us down if we?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe.
We may have
We
to
have to
break it up.
restart it again. Yeah.
It may
All right,
not
with
be
that, I'm empty.
archived
I gotta
for
get a
one.
refill.
Like
Be
we're
part
actually talking
one,
about this like
part
we're
two.
planning it.
Yeah, we're talking like we're really gonna do this. It's like
I think it's awesome.
No.
Twitch has
How
no
many
limit.
other arcade podcasts have done a 24-hour show? Though? I mean, we
Man,
could
who'd
be
watch
breaking
it?
new ground here.
Dude,
Oh my
besides
God.
Jim,
I'd forget my camera's on and walk past the camera naked.
With like a semi.
It would be, it'd be flaccid until I looked and realized I was on
Semi.
camera. That's a semi.
I got a partial.
It makes that sound too.
Jim only took a half a shit.
So Night Flyer says Twitch does allow.
You gotta have
24-hour
a shit. You
streams.
gotta have
Just-
partial.
Just
Oh, that makes
one little
sense for all the-
stringer.
those
Just
live streams.
I've seen a
Just
few
hides out.
24 hours on there, and I've sadly been on for like 20 hours of it. But Twitch does allow for 24-hour streams.
oh, I love the idea.
I love how we're
It's
planning
so
this.
funny.
I'm more than happy.
Well, I
to
mean,
do
not
the
that everybody
night
has
shift.
to do it. Carrie, you're shaking your head.
I know. I'm feeling. I'm tired right now.
I know.
No,
I
but
could
you-
never
you
do
come
that.
in,
They're
we
beating
do
me down at
shit.
work. They're taking
Like you do shit.
It's sucking all the energy out of you.
no,
They are
it would be.
so. I didn't
Right?
think you could suck the energy out of me while I sat on my own goddamn couch, surrounded by dogs.
It's
But
worse
apparently
because
you
it's
can.
harder. It's harder because you can't talk to them in person. It's
One eye
harder to
open at all
communicate.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not in person, it's a little harder. So it's like an adjustment period I'm going through too.
Yeah,
Gotta
there's you're,
communicate ideas and yeah.
yeah, you're right because there's lots of really, really lengthy emails.
Oh, I hate.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
you're
much
writing way more
process.
emails, and you're
Yeah. Way more, and it's just a lot of process, and it's a lot of documenting
Yeah.
everything. I'm like,
Mhm,
I don't
mhm.
even get to start to do my work and what I need to get done until usually about 4:30 or 5.
Mm,
Because I'm like between talking to my people, and I have
ugh.
meetings. Sorry,
Mm.
this I'm gonna end this rant real quick, but I start meetings first thing in the morning, and I don't usually end my meetings until noon. And that's just constant on the phone. Like I'm just now on speakerphone because I'm like, otherwise my brain's gonna be irradiated from all the battery time. It's just yeah, and then it's emails, and then occasional phone calls, and then about 4:30, I'm like, oh.
I
it's kinda
sometimes make
quiet.
phone calls so I don't have to write a long email. But then you're
Yeah.
wondering
Right.
if they like remembered it or
Right.
got all the details of it. And Yeah.
A meeting to decide the meeting, to arrange another meeting.
Meeting for the meeting.
Gary, as soon as last week when the city, Ottawa shut down, the email flood of, is Canada still a thing? Holding pattern, fuck off for like the next
Dad
month, and then
great, Dad.
Off me.
How's
Jerk it
yours?
off. Like,
Super.
You could have Jow on, and you could talk about the vegetarian hamburger.
Right, yeah. Exactly why he got.
Do you think he'd come back on?
Jow, I could talk Jow. I don't know about John.
We could do dinner with Jow.
Dinner with Jow.
Jow was on once.
Oh, I'm gonna eat like a pound of beef in front of him.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat a real hamburger. He can eat his incredible hamburger, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
And he'll talk about how much better it is. Yeah, the Impossible
he's gonna do
Burger.
the cooking show segment.
Yeah,
he'll show us what he's cooking and preparing and how we can cook it ourselves.
That'd be during the slot of like 5 to 6 p.m. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, on the Slack we were talking
appearances.
about
Can you imagine whipping up a structured itinerary?
Who's going to be on it? What?
It's like a telethon, right?
Yeah.
So Necro says Nat Quarantine Edition.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Boom. We just play for.
But we can't.
We used
play
to do
together.
that used to be the game of the week or whatever. That we did that for a little while. But in all seriousness, though,
man,
I'd be
the
down
delay.
for doing another show. Doing like 2 times a week or something, because it's easy enough. So.
Yeah, I mean,
this is the same position I'd be in the 6 days of the week, other than tonight. Like same position.
I mean, it's Friday. If it's Friday night, I'm guaranteed
It'd be hard for me. It'd be hard for me to do three things a week and not spend time with the wife doing that.
Yeah, I was just thinking the two people who are like, hey, let's do it twice a week are the people who live alone. All the rest of y'all actually are living with somebody right now.
Well, for me, it's pretty late, so they're sleeping.
Living alone.
So I'm on the.
So Dave's in. Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife asked, "How come it's so late?"
I'm in.
It was on the West Coast. I go the majority, So she was, "How come it's so late?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm free. Let's do it."
We used
that
to
reminds
try
me,
to
I
do
got
it
to
at 7
update.
East or West Coast, but it was like everybody wound up running late for it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
We pushed it back an hour.
yeah.
Well, if you go all the way back in history, it was the West Coasters said, "Hey, we want to keep talking to each other." And they're the first ones out, and it's the East Coasters, me, Dave, and Buffett, and a couple others that were on
Super
past
Orange
like 5 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, Orange Trip would be the West Coast one that would.
How come he's not on? He's not working.
Right? I know
Yeah,
we're gonna have
right.
to. We're gonna have to poke him now. We're gonna.
Orange
I'm gonna start
Aging
bugging
Mr.
that
Orange.
fucker.
I'm gonna PM Adam on Cloud. Actually, no, I'll use Facebook.
Very nice,
I always
Dave.
forget them.
It's that bloomin' onion from Outback.
So I want to show off an addition I added to my game room
to hear what you said.
last weekend. So this is something I wanted to do at my old house, and I bought this stuff like 3 or 4 years ago. Was I wanted to put because when your garage door is closed, there's always an air gap around it, and then you get a cold draft.
Yeah,
When you have the segmented roll-up doors.
In California, you don't know what a cold draft is.
Yes. Well,
Damn, a cold draft is
Probably
a beer.
true.
yes.
Oh my God.
Well,
67
stay proud,
degrees.
Dave.
I'll say like
Cold.
2 months out of the year, it can get close to or at freezing.
Oh,
And then 2 months out of the year, it gets 100+ degrees. So it's both ends of that. But anyway, so I got this stuff to
Californians call
seal it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weather strip that kind of goes around the garage door to help close that air gap.
It's
But
just foam. The
no,
sticky foam stuff.
here's
or?
actually the profile. I don't know if you can kind of see
little
it
rubber
here.
strip.
Oh
Yeah,
It's a store seal.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
the short end is what you kind of like screw down to the
Underneath
door
the door.
jam basically,
Yeah.
and then the other part is what kind of pushes up against your garage door. So I think it normally goes on the outside of your garage door though, and that's where I was kind of like, it'll look ugly, because this is like basically white or off white, and it would totally look like I put a border around my garage door almost, right?
Yeah.
So when I was here, I was like, I think I could get away with it on the inside. because my new garage door opener setup, because it goes so high to the ceiling, the rails, instead of being vertical all the way up, they kind of start to tilt back. So like at the bottom of my garage door, it's basically touching the wall or the door jamb. And at the top, there's like a 1/2 inch or a 3/4 inch gap. So that's what this makes up for, you know? So where I put it, it worked great. I mean, it was a pain in the ass to kind of like get it dialed in, but you know, I killed Saturday pretty much doing it, but but now I got it up finally, you know. Like,
and then you know what's great is you'll have less debris coming in that gets on your screens, because Keith, I've been telling Keith to do this for years. I go, you need to do exactly what you were saying, Gak, because his pins like always have a bunch of debris and shit that come in through the slots. I'm like, and I would say seal that shit.
I mean, it's not perfect, but I would say it probably blocked between 80 and 90% of the open air that would come in. And you could you could stand next to it and feel a cold draft. Like when I got the heater on out here and it's really cold outside, I totally feel the cold draft off it. So
wow.
Step
and you
in the
can
right
still
direction.
Open and close your garage door. And
that was the trouble I was having at first, because it's so, when it comes in, the top part is so close. It was basically like catching on this and folding it, like where the door handles on the outside of the garage door hit it. So I had to cut it way back, you know, but it works though. You don't even see that part because it's like tucked up.
So if I was to space, you have a gap like around the garage door.
It's because it's like it's supposed to hit the back of the door jamb frame when it's down and seated, but because of the rails, because I have this kind of high pitch framing that goes up close to the ceiling, it has to be at a little bit of an angle. So instead of it being like vertical when it seats down against the door frame, it's like maybe a 5-degree angle or something. And then it goes up and then goes to a really tight pitch at the top by the ceiling.
Surprise!
His doors are almost like commercial, almost like commercial kind of garage doors.
Yeah, I had to. Really it was not cheap either, but I wanted to have it up by the ceiling to get it all out of the way. But yeah, as a result, it caused that air gap. You know, like I said, around a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch gap, like the whole top, and then maybe halfway down the sides.
Wait, so you had them put the garage doors in, or no? This was the previous.
No, I had to modify my opener, the frame.
Oh, okay.
Because the rails used to be like 6.5 feet off the ground. You'd almost hit your head on it.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Okay.
It's like in the middle of the room. So now I have almost 11-foot ceiling. So now the garage door goes way up by the ceiling.
Because what they had to do so you could not hit your head. I'm using this as a living space. And it totally
opens the frame too, you know, like.
Okay, all right.
Eventually I want to kind of paint it black and the ceiling black to kind of blend in so you don't even see it. The rails that are up by the ceiling. But it really opened the room up though by doing that modification of the rails. So, but yeah, you have to have a new opener. It's called a jack shaft opener. Because normally it's like a chain that pulls the door straight back.
Yeah, you have the things on the sides.
Yeah.
They're like,
well, it still has the things on the sides, but now it's like a motor that kind of clamps onto the edge of the bar that kind of turns up by the wall. Because normally the opener is like back in your room, like hanging from the ceiling, and it's chain driven, and it basically pulls the door straight back.
Chain your belt.
Yeah. So that was what was here. That used to be like hanging down in the room, but I changed to the jack shaft, you know. But yeah,
we had trouble getting it up, and now you have a jack shaft.
Exactly. Yeah. There we go.
Sounds about right.
So now the garage is better insulated, so it stays warmer or stays cold.
Don't get that 65-degree freezing temperature coming in.
We'll see. Yeah.
Ooh, it's the chill.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, the 100 and plus.
Yeah.
Those temperatures.
That's my next step.
That's a big deal.
I had a portable air conditioner unit that I had off the back door of the garage, which I returned it because it wasn't really effective for this space. I'm gonna get one. It's called a split unit. So you have this basically like, I don't know, it's maybe 8 inches deep and 3 feet wide and maybe a foot tall that just mounts to the wall, and then it has a pipe that goes outside the wall, and then your actual air conditioner heater unit is outside. You can do it yourself, and it's not cheap, but you know, like my old unit was $500, and this would probably be upwards of $1,500. But it'll be designed for this space, you know, because it's the cubic feet, and you have to,
Yeah.
heat and air condition that cubic.
And you've got a
feet.
huge amount of vertical space to.
Yeah, I got 600 times 11, so it's 6,600 cubic feet or whatever. So roughly. Yeah.
So GAC, NIRC just dropped a link. It's called the PTAC unit. It does heating. It does air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
So you just get one. It's just most of them are a 120 volt outlet.
So the problem with those is they only go up to like 12,000 BTUs.
So you just get.
And I need an 18,000 BTU.
Oh.
For this space, yeah, it's all right. I've done a fair amount of research on it, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
My wife originally was talking about just get a window unit, like what you see in apartments and stuff. Just like they replace your window with the thing. But I'm kind of like, it's not big enough either. So,
what's your?
That's what she said.
Oh yes, Bazinga!
Bazinga!
Nice.
That's awesome.
What's your floor square footage?
It's about 600 square feet.
That's personal.
And it's just shy of 11-foot ceiling.
Right.
It's like 10 foot 11 or something like that.
Shit, we probably are pretty close to the same.
Same cubic feet. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's super deep, but it's only yours a 3-car, right?
They're 2 single doors, but everything's extra wide.
Yeah.
It's really a 3-car.
Yeah.
But the way that they designed it to look from the street, it looks like 2 1-car doors.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, mine's like 580, something like that, but same thing. But I don't have the straight flat ceilings that you do, but I've got that huge, pitch.
And
roof.
so yeah, last summer the project was before I put I put all the lights and fans up, and then we insulated the ceiling.
Yeah.
But 3 of the walls I don't think are insulated. They were already sheetrocked when we got the house, so I assume they're not. I mean, well, one's basically garage doors,
right?
One wall, so. But yeah.
Well,
I'll get there eventually.
Do you get the sun hitting the garage doors too? Like,
so what I did to address that actually, technically the garage door panels are insulated. They were like that when I got the house, but they have windows on the top, and those windows, major, like a greenhouse effect, right?
Yep.
So I bought this film. You can just get it at Home Depot. It's not terribly expensive. It's just kind of a pain in the ass to put on, but it's mirrored on. It's like a one-way mirror. So it deflects most of the heat, and it is effective. It's really effective. So I did that on. I still have like one window I need to do, but all the rest of the windows I got. Yeah,
that was another Saturday.
Yeah, that was a couple weekends actually. Yes.
Well, the home. I don't know what the Home Depots are down there right now, but ours are open. So just head down and grab some of that. Got nothing else to do.
Totally.
I actually looked into that, but mine are, because I remember seeing your pictures and hearing about
that reflective film.
Yeah, stuff? With the reflective stuff. But if I recall, they have to be smooth, and my windows on my garage are textured.
Textured,
so
yeah.
Yeah, I can't find anything that is conducive to the texture, other than I guess contact paper.
I mean, our old house, the garage door panels were not insulated, and I bought insulated inserts. And then basically all I did was I spray painted the inside of the windows black, and then put the insulated panels that totally cover it. So when you're outside, you can't tell that they're painted black. It just looks like the lights are off in the garage.
It still looks glossy. Clever. Yeah.
Yeah. And it reflects, it looks kind of mirrorish, Yeah. That's how I addressed that problem, and just filled the whole panel with insulated panel. But you can't look out anymore, but
you can't look in either.
Exactly. Like here right now, someone could look in and see me, and I can't see them because of their mirror effect.
Yeah, and the nice thing about if you do spray paint the glass, you can always take the razor blade, cutter.
Right.
Wet it
or
down.
You can get black vinyl too, probably.
Take that right off too if you needed to take it off for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, goodness.
Scratch a little eye hole so you can peek out.
That wouldn't be weird.
You're like murdered by death.
Yeah.
The moose is looking at me.
That's right. Cow on wall, say something. Moose, God damn it.
So I had a group text.
It's not a moose, but
local buddy,
sand person.
Close enough.
Local buddy Adam G. He did a little group text between me, him, and the guy who owns. It's called out of order arcades, I think, up in Auburn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we're like, that's a terrible name.
I know.
Right,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, I know.
Yeah.
Like,
None
wait,
of the games work there. Who
you want me
knew?
to pay to go in here and they're all broken?
Yeah, exactly.
Out of order.
I'm never gonna get my quarter back.
Yeah. So he started like a kind of a group text, and he's all, hey, so Gax got a kegerator. I hear you got some extra beer, basically, right? So because he's shut down right now, you know, and he has an arcade bar that he has beer. And so
I see where this is going.
He's like listing off the beer. I'm like, man, I literally just bought a keg like last week or 2 weeks ago. I'm like, I won't be able to empty those for like a month and a half, 2 months. But he's all my kegs are on the, you know, taps that are partially used. But then he's all, I have 6 more kegs that haven't even been opened yet. And so he's,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
Yeah. So I'm kind of telling my son, I'm like, all right, Seth, let's empty this keg as soon as possible.
Challenge accepted. We're doing this for a local business.
Right.
We're
Yeah.
saving a local business.
Yes,
Good cause.
So I could buy at least 1 keg off him. Yeah. But yeah. I never really thought about that being like an issue, like it's too much beer. How is that a problem?
Right.
Yeah.
It's an interesting time to be alive.
That's for sure. Yeah, you know, the wife and kids, I told them, like, I don't know if I said this last week. Really, the only thing I can relate to this current situation was Y2K, where it was like people were panicking and they're running out of water.
People were buying bottled waters.
Every bottled water was gone off all the shelves everywhere.
Yeah.
I remember that. I don't remember any food or any other panic really. It was mostly, or guns maybe, like people were buying
vaguely remember that.
guns
And then
bullets
nothing
stuff.
happened when it hit too.
Yeah.
So like, you know.
And I don't get the water thing. Like, honestly, I do get the water thing for me, because when like my electricity goes out, I'm on a well, and so I don't have any water. So I understand if I were to go, and I'm not panic buying water, but I would understand like for people who are on a well, why they're running out and like, oh my God, I better get water, I guess. Under some circumstances, like when we were having the wildfires, you know, the stores were out of water. And it's like, yeah, a lot of us are on wells. So that makes sense. But if you're not on a well, why the hell are people buying water? Like, it's not, it's a, look at that one.
Well, the scare for that was because Y2K, they thought that computers that run certain special systems were going to go down due to programmers not properly programming.
It's just
they
like
were afraid of the water companies.
companies.
They were afraid of the water companies' computer system going down when Y2K would hit. Because it might not have been properly programmed. So just in case, they bought bottled water in case we wouldn't have water for a few weeks or whatever it would be. That's
Jesus
all it was. But it was other things too. Yeah, they're afraid of a lot of things going haywire during that time. I can't remember everything, but
Simpsons did a great Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah, anything that's anything that runs on a computer, like a nuclear power plant. Oh, we can't stop it.
Exactly.
It won't cool down. It's the Y2K.
Like, they've got like a carton of milk and it starts spraying all out, and everything's got a computer chip in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I remember that one well, Jimbo.
It's one of my faves.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's on every like top 5 treehouse.
It's up there, that's for sure. And they get on the wrong rocket that's got Rosie O'Donnell on it.
That's right.
Poof, into the sun it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny.
No loss.
Oh.
But Marge, I was gonna loot you a present. Oh, well, that's okay then.
Loot you a present.
Yeah.
Another bowling ball.
Yeah.
Hey, I survived Y2K. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was playing Doom 2, actually.
Doom 2?
Yeah, there's Doom 2.
Hell on Earth?
No, I'm
94 game?
I'm fully aware of all the Doom games. No, I'm just saying because that was pretty old at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a shitty computer.
He still has it.
He was into retro gaming before retro gaming was a thing. He was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I had no friends. Stop hating on me.
So here's something I didn't know about Doom, though. Doom Eternal comes with
It's moved backwards.
Doom Eternal comes with a second game on Steam. Sometimes when you buy games on Steam, they give you like another game with it. Depends on the distributor, but they give you for free Doom 64. For back in the day for Nintendo 64, Doom put out a game for it, and I thought it was just a port of Doom 1 or Doom 2 or one or the other. Well, it turns out no. Doom 64 is a brand new Doom game created by id Software with new levels and some new enemies and new weapon, a couple, I think 1 or 2 new weapons in it. So I have to still check that out. I didn't even know this. So
all hail John Romano.
Yeah, I thought it was a port of Doom 2 that had some extra stuff in it.
No, it's all brand new levels and new puzzles and a couple new enemies. And a new BFG type weapon called the Unmaker, I think they call it. I'm gonna unmake you. So yeah, it comes with Doom Eternal. So when that goes on sale, Andrew, pick that one up.
I'm waiting for the first price break. It's just so...
It is very pricey, but
really?
It's really
it's a long game though. It's not your typical 6-hour first-person shooter. We're talking 22-hour first-person shooter. I'm
excited to play it, but every time it has put out a game recently, it's like it's gone on sale within like a month or two.
Yeah, if you wait like 5-6 months, you'll.
I've been burned so many fucking times.
I know. I hate that.
Good to know.
New id games, and then like within
or any game.
Fucking the last one was one of the new Wolfies, one of the new Wolfensteins.
Wolfensteins, yeah.
And like within 30 fucking days, it was on sale for like 45% off. I was like,
oh
man,
you just gotta wait for a holiday or something. They usually do sales, like you know.
It's definitely it's
St. Patrick's Day sale.
We'll have one. They've got one for every holiday.
They do. Valentine's Day. You don't have a Valentine? That's okay. We got 10% off our game. Be at home.
Have one of those in 5 years.
Yeah, we love you. Our bank loves you.
Stay home and play your games.
Yeah, play with yourself.
Who says I'm not?
Ayo.
Don't have to have
anyway, that's something to note. You get 2 games in one. And by the way, and there's it does come with Doom 1 and 2. They're just in the game when you're playing it. You can find there's secrets, and you'll find a little floppy disk, and it'll say either cheat or it'll be a thing to unlock Doom 1, and there's another one for Doom 2.
The collector's edition has an actual cassette.
No.
So the ultimate collector's edition has like a wearable helmet, which
I saw the helmet. It looked badass. Yeah.
But like, oh my god,
lights up and everything.
But it actually comes with a cassette that has the soundtrack on it.
Oh wow.
And on the backside, it has got like a little digital download version of it, like where to go download.
Oh, that's cool.
Code. Yeah. But an actual cassette you can put in a cassette player. There's like obviously a bunch of people who are like,
where do I play this?
Now I have to buy a cassette player?
Yeah, I got to go to a pawn shop.
I've got like 3 of them.
I don't anymore. I don't think.
I got a dual cassette up there. I could do some high-speed dubbing if you need one of those.
Nice.
The last cassette player I had was a boombox that
I think I have one too.
Taylor and her friend had it in their room on a sleepover. The friend jumped on the bed and the boombox flew and broke it. And there you go. Yeah, so I don't have one anymore, but oh well. I don't have any tapes anymore either.
Yeah,
I gotta play my.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh my
God, we're old.
It's like Guardians of the Galaxy here going on.
Well, my van still has a cassette player in it, so I busted
out nice.
all my old cassettes, like old mixtapes and shit like that. That's what I listen to in the van.
And when that radio DJ would talk over the song,
Yep.
What is that, Dave?
These are the read-along cassette books that you.
Nice.
I
couldn't see what the cassette was. I saw you holding up the Empire thing.
No, let's. I have all 3, and you'd read it, and it would like beep to turn the page. And play like excerpts.
Bling.
I remember having a lady.
I had the Star Wars one. I didn't have the.
I have the 3 Star Wars. What else is in here? I have Snow White, and then I have I think Wizard of Oz.
Why do you have Snow White?
Because I have a daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just gonna say, if you're listening to Snow White,
I'm a fan.
as a teenager, there'd be a problem.
Yeah.
That was the
Black
biggest chick
sounds
flick
weird.
out there.
I've got the hots for Dopey.
They should rename the dwarfs. Farty, Gassy, Bloaty. Well, I guess you guys never saw that one on Facebook then.
Oh.
They renamed all the dwarfs to
I think they're called
Dwarfs. Or the dwarfs. Dwarfs was Tim Conway with his feet stuck in the ground with the shoes sticking out. Like
Dwarf on golf.
Remember that? Dwarf on golf?
Yes, I do remember that.
Shitty thing. And he'd sell those. He'd try to hawk those VHSs on cable, at commercial breaks at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Dwarf on go. Then you could get the extra set Dwarf on bowling.
Yes.
Dwarf on pigeon shooting. Any little dumb thing you could come up with.
So the boombox I had, my last recollection was, I would practice my BMX tricks out in front of the house. I was a teenager in high school, and like you got to buy batteries for those things, right? They're
expensive,
D's or C's or whatever they were. And it's like I kept killing batteries. I'm like, I need to just get an extension cord.
Yeah.
Because my dad had like a empty 55-gallon drum, garbage can. So I'd drag it down to the sidewalk, flip it upside down, have the boom box on it, and have like a 40-foot extension cord off the house. I was like, yes, now I'm set. Don't need to buy any more batteries. Yeah. That was my boombox story.
Let's do the right thing. See Energizer? Did you guys ever see Do the Right Thing? No, never mind.
That was totally. I know exactly what you're talking about. Motherfucking D batteries.
D, motherfucker, D.
Yeah. I gotcha. It's been a few years, but yeah, I gotcha.
This weekend, it was late, and I was watching. It was like 2 a.m. or 1 o'clock in the morning. I was watching Better Off Dead. That's on Netflix Prime right now. And even though his character is
the Netflix Prime,
I think it's on Prime.
Netflix Prime.
Oh, Netflix Prime. Did I say that? I'm sorry. It was on Prime, not Netflix. Wow. Okay, so
Netflix Prime Plus.
Yeah. Disney Plus. Yeah. HBO channel. Yeah.
Netflix Prime.
Netflix Prime anytime.
Yeah. with stars. But anyway, so that movie and was Better Off Dead and the One Crazy Summer, even though it's a different, his character name is different, but he feels like the same character. It feels like a pseudo sequel, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Totally.
Now, was anybody the same like writer or anything, or did someone just take that idea and write something that was similar? Or I was wondering what the connection is between those two movies, because they feel like it almost just feels like a sequel, almost, right? It's very similar humor, and the character acts the same, and Cusack acts the same.
What's the second movie called again?
Okay, so Better Off Dead.
Yeah,
that's the one with the kid wants his $2. $2.
Yeah. The Paperboy.
I'm still laughing at that.
Yeah. It's a skiing movie.
Yeah. And it's a skiing movie. And then the other movie is with Demi Moore when she was real young.
Yep.
And it's One Crazy Summer, and he's on the
beach movie.
It's the boat movie, I guess. Right,
but it's like the beach and the ski.
Yeah.
Which is
very similar storylines.
Bobcat's in the Demi Moore one.
He wants to get his girlfriend back. Yeah, he's the Godzilla. It's so dumb, but I love it. I don't know. That's one of those classics.
And One Crazy Summer is the one where he's an artist too, right? Where he
I think does he draw in both? I think he draws in both.
Something comes.
He draws in both of them because
remember
he's drawing.
He always draws. Yeah, Beth. That's right.
And then the monster eats the. Yeah. No, he draws in both versions. They're more animated. He draws the fuzzies in the second movie. Yeah. Anyway, watch those two if you like 80s John Cusack films. So that's a fun one.
Have any of you guys ever been paper boys, paper girls? Ever? Okay.
I helped a friend who used
I helped a friend, yes.
Every time I slept over at his house,
$2 was like a real thing back in the day.
Seriously, trying to get their money.
I used to have to give little receipts.
Weekly collections.
I had the coin changer and everything.
Yeah, and
I'd
they had
go
the
and
coupons you had to rip out, right?
It was $2.20. Yeah.
So you had to collect. You had to be the collector.
So
Yeah,
mine,
open
it
for the
was.
tips.
I want to say anywhere from like $3 to $7, depending on if they were like once or twice a week or all 7 days, something like that. And
okay.
you know, so every 30 days you had to go around and get your collections, right? And I had like 60 or 70 houses. No, mine was a monthly. It was like around 60 or 70 houses I'd have to collect from. And you know, half of them were really good. They'd have a check already in advance, give it to me. Some would give tips because I did, you know, they liked the deliveries or whatever. But some was like they were never freaking home. Or like the one, it was
They're
like
all hiding.
Yeah,
go
it was
away.
like,
Just be quiet.
It was like the wife would answer, and she's like, "Oh, my husband has the checkbook. He's the one who can write you the check." And it's like I went. It was like 2 or 3 weeks in a row, like, you know, a couple days a week, you know, Saturday, Sundays. Same bullshit excuse. She's like, "Oh, he works nights, and you know, so he's only home or early in the morning." I'm like, "Okay, I think I'm gonna know how I'm gonna handle this next time." So I finished my route. I finished my paper route, which you're supposed to be all delivered by like 6:30 in the morning or something like that. So like 6:45 in the morning, knock, knock, knock on their door, right?
Nice.
I'm like, I'm here to collect. You know, I've been coming back for the last couple of weeks. And I can hear a baby crying in the background. I'm like, oh, this is not going to end well. And so he comes out. The dude was freaking pissed, you know.
Why is 6 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah. He's like, I'm like, well, sir, you know, I've been coming here for the last couple of weeks, and your wife says you have the paycheck or you have the checkbook, and that's the only way I can get this. I have to pay this bill. You know, I'm paying for your paper unless I get a payment, you know. So he writes the check, all pissed off, hands it to me.
Fuck you,
like,
dude.
He's like, well, you know, and go ahead and consider this canceled on our paper route. I'm like, no problem, sir. You have a good one. Like, fuck that house.
Right.
Mine was always cash. I never ever.
Well, he was, you know, a fair amount were cash. So, and then, okay, another spin-off story. So I would some days it was like an all-day thing to do in the collections, going around the houses. So it was like, you know, 2 or 3 in the afternoon by the time I'm done. And on my ride home, there was this liquor store on the corner that, you know, I get like a Gatorade and a candy bar or something, but they had a pinball machine in there. And so I had this, you know, envelope that I probably had like 150 or $200 cash in it, you know, and checks and stuff. And I had change, quarters and stuff. So I'm like, I played a couple of games of pinball, and then I, you know, I'm like, okay, you know, it's time to start heading home. I get like a block or two away. I'm like, oh shit, I left the envelope there.
No.
$200, like, you know, cash and change and checks and sitting on the pinball machine. So luckily it was still there.
You know? You're lucky.
Yes.
Your heart drops.
Because that would have been all out of my pocket, you know.
Yeah, did you deliver? You was it a morning paper all the time?
Yeah.
For you? See, when I did it, it was called the Buffalo Evening News, which they don't. Okay. Now it's just the Buffalo News because they do it in the morning. But mine was an afternoon paper besides Saturday and Sundays, which was in the morning. And we never took checks or
mine was so this is like from 84 to 86, I would say.
Mine was 86 to like 80.
I was around 13 to 15 in that age range. And they would have the big bundles with the band, the plastic band holding them together, like 100 stacks.
Wire that it was plastic because
they would drop that off on my porch at my house by 4 a.m. at the latest.
Oh wow!
And so I could start delivering as early as 4 a.m. But as long as I was done by 6:30, I wouldn't get like in trouble or anything. But I had school at 8, so I had to finish. I love that
story.
Yeah, but yeah, so like. The big days was like Thanksgiving because Black Friday and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
those are huge papers. Yeah, they would bring them in 3 different deliveries because the paper would be in 3 sections.
Yeah,
because their printing presses are printing so much papers, they had to section it into 3 sections, and then you have to put those 3 sections together.
Yep, I had to
deliver them, and they would. Right. The first delivery was like at midnight, like on a whatever Wednesday night or Thursday night, whatever that. It was Thursday morning, so it was Wednesday night. Would be midnight the first the delivery, and so sometimes it was just too much. So I would deliver them in two sections. The customers would get them in 2 sections, but it's like whatever.
You said you had like 60 or 70. Was this one street?
No, it was a whole neighborhood. It was a whole
No,
neighborhood.
I had like, just to put it in perspective, like I did my own street. I took the route over from my neighbor and he passed it on to me. So there's maybe 50 houses on the street or whatever it was. There was so many people got the paper. Instead of telling me who got the paper, he had a list of just the 4 or 5 houses that didn't get it. Like there was
Right,
like
yeah.
everybody on the street got it. Like literally, and it was like 235, and I remember it went up to like 265 or something, or
like, you know, at age, you know, at age 14, I was making upwards of, you know, $200+ a month, and minimum wage was like $2 an hour or something, you know. So it was like, that was a lot of money for a 14-year-old. So I mean, half my money went to BMX and the other half went to video games, like arcade games. I'm not even kidding you. You know,
Well,
like
that was the
so
pay
much.
rate back in the 1800s, right?
What's that?
So
that was the pay rate in the 1800s,
exactly.
right?
So that would have been cool, Gak, at that age. Like anytime you wanted anything, if you're riding your bike around, if you wanted a hamburger or something, you just buy it. You didn't have to
It
like.
was, and for a little while,
for change.
Hamburger,
Shit.
hot dog.
I
exactly.
overextended a little bit for a little while.
Nothing.
Okay, so in you know, Sacramento is the.
No, a cheeseburger. You should be writing a soundboard.
I want potato chip. Nothing like it.
This is one of those times you should be running the soundboard, Carrie.
This area is the area I live in is basically Sacramento.
One of our
area,
best
right?
episodes.
So the main newspaper was the Sacramento Bee.
Agreed.
But then there was a competing newspaper company called the Sacramento Union.
Yeah.
So there was actually 2 papers that were delivered in the area, and for maybe a year, I had I worked for both companies, so I had 2 delivery routes in the same neighborhood. So I'm like double dipping. So it was like bank, man.
Nice.
$300-$400 a month I was making, right? But yeah, it was crazy.
Gak. I wish I was your friend at 14.
Right?
I mean, one of the awesome memories I had was another friend of mine. He rode BMX too. He was like about a mile from me, and he had a route. And it was like our agreement every Sunday, because like Sunday was like the pain in the ass haul because the papers were so much thicker.
Oh yeah.
And so we're like, all right, we're meeting at Winchell's, the donut store, you know, when we're done with our routes at 8 a.m. or whatever. And so we'd buy it, we'd split a dozen donuts. You know, I would eat between 4 and 6 donuts, all sugared up.
Never gain a pound either.
No, man, because we're burning it all.
Yeah, so you just burn like 3,000 calories. I'd
buy an orange juice and he'd buy like a chocolate milk, and man, we were freaking set. Like, that was our Sunday. That was like
good old days.
You know, like the end of the week when you like, I'm like, I want to go home just have a beer. Well, that's every night, but anyways, the end of the week typically it's like go home and have a beer. Well, this was like the end of the week was Sunday, and you get your donuts and some orange juice for me.
So I'm still amazed that you went to school. That's why. What time did you start school?
It started like 8 a.m. I want to say.
So what time did you were?
I would be done delivering no later than 7 a.m.
You got up at
done
what
by
time?
6:30. But yeah,
You got up at what time?
5-ish, about 5.
Every day, weekdays.
Yep, 7 days a week, 5 a.m.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh my
that's
goodness,
rough.
that's
That's
unbelievable.
the rough part.
I
then
still get up at 5.
When you got to be good friends with other locals, it was like, hey, can you cover my route for like this week or two? Because I want to go on vacation. That's the only way. Someone had to cover your route.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was 365 days a year.
In
route.
Western New York, it was all afternoon deliveries. Like I can't believe a kid even like did you have time to do that? Like you're getting up that every single day to deliver that paper before school.
Well, you know what it did? It primed him for getting up super early and picking up games like ungodly hours. Because it's true. You go on, you'll be leaving at like the butt crack of dawn to be there to pick up some game at 7 a.m.
The deal
and
is
I'm
is because like, you know, when I find those better deals.
That beer just gets them right out of the bed.
Yes. Those better deals never tend to be like close to my house, it seems like.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, Modesto or Turlock or where, you know, it's like a 2-hour drive or something. And I'm like, I don't want to kill the whole day. You know, the wife will get all pissed off. I'm gone all day. So it's like, hey, can I meet you at like 8 a.m.? You know, and they're like, yeah, no problem. So I'll leave at, 5:30 or 6 in the morning.
I'll see you still have, you can still
and
get
then
back
I'm back
in
home by
time.
like, 11.
I mean, that's fine. You're an adult now, but I can't believe you did this as a kid. Getting up every day.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. I was only for 2 years, I'd say.
But it's still
you're rolling it for 2 years.
Yeah, it was nice, man. I had the freaking most awesome BMX bike out of all my friends. That's for sure.
I remember some friends of mine that had a couple that had paper routes before any of us had jobs or anything like that, and not being impressed by how early they had to get up, but being jealous about the money they had, for sure.
Yours was a morning as well, Jim. Your friends had to get up before school.
Oh yeah. Fucking right. Oh God, yeah. Oh, they had to get up so it was pitch black. They had to get up so early because the papers. They'd had to get all their papers delivered.
When it's raining, you have a plastic.
Carrie, you know Al, right?
Yeah.
You know Al. He had a paper out. He was one of the friends. He started saving for his Mustang that he got when he was 16 years old. When he was like 13 or 14, because he had a paper route. So he was able to buy his first car, which was, I can't remember what year, whatever, 90 something, Mustang, right when he was 16. So he had jobs before any of us did, really. So he was all focused on that.
You don't have like any, I actually bought a paper bag off of Craigslist about 5 years ago.
You're saying the thing you put over your shoulders to hold it?
Yeah, I had a bag.
I have it somewhere in a
Boulder
bin,
holder.
Both of them, the Sacramento Bee and Sacramento Union.
That's awesome.
And shirt. They gave us a T-shirt, and there was like a special once a year event. It's Carrie, you might know this. Downtown Old Sacramento, the Jazz Festival.
Oh yes,
So
indeed. I know the Jazz Festival very well.
It was like right around my birthday too, actually, like Memorial Day weekend ish, somewhere around there. They would do some special for the paper boys, like, hey, if you want to go out here, we'll pay you extra, and it's like you're just standing there at a corner and people can buy papers from you, So they would give us the T-shirts for that event and pay us extra. But yeah, yep. Oh man, flashbacks.
Yeah.
Still blown away that you got up that early.
I know, that's the dedication.
I mean, I thought it was, I had to get up on Saturday and Sundays, and that was a bitch. But you're getting up before school.
The one buddy, man, he was older, like maybe 3 years older than me, and he had the system down because he had a moped. So man, you're just zipping
I had a
through
friend that had
neighborhoods.
that.
Yeah.
It's a super easy. He gets it done really quick too.
This was the freaking classic the guy told me about too, and this was like a neighbor who lived like 4 houses down from me. So I didn't actually deliver my immediate neighborhood. I did the next one over. It was this lady was kind of crazy, nitpicky about everything. So, when you wrap a newspaper, you got a rubber band around it, right? So when you throw the paper, that top sheet sometimes tears just from the wind hitting it or whatever. Yeah. And she would complain about constantly, like, oh, the front 2 sheets of my newspaper was torn from your rubber band. Can you please just like lay it on my porch instead of throwing it? It's like, freaking lady, we gotta like zip through our routes, So anyways, after multiple complaints, he's like, I got this taken care of. So, and by the way, we had to buy our own rubber bands. That was part of the deal. Like you buy a bag of like 2,000 rubber bands for like $3.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And that was all part of the job, right? So he's like, fuck it. He lined the entire paper with rubber bands, top to bottom. Like the entire thing was coated with rubber bands. So he hucked that up on her porch. No tears in the paper. Yeah. But it took her like a freaking hour to get all the rubber bands off of it.
Jeez.
Dude, I never threw the papers. I had to walk up and put them in their mailbox.
Oh,
and then I had
no, man, just like the video game.
in the mailbox.
You gotta throw that shit up on the porch.
I opened the door, put it in. Like I just didn't throw it.
That's why I have like, I suck at the game, but I have a huge soft spot for Paperboy the game.
You get ladies coming after you with an umbrella.
BMX, it's got Paperboy, and it's an arcade game. It's just like hits me on all 3 levels.
Ding 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 ding.
I mean, I did have
triple boner.
Before I got the Buffalo News route, I had USA Today, and it was brand new. So there was only like 30 people in the neighborhood. So I did ride my bike around, and I didn't throw it. We didn't throw papers. There wasn't. Now they do, but because it's adults delivering it from a car.
From a car, yeah. I saw the lady
so I was going up days ago. Everybody's mailbox.
Totally changed. Yeah. It's
I
probably
mean,
way safer because
there was
should have
hooks at the
freaking
bottom of
kids
the
going to
mailbox
people's houses
for the
collecting
paper.
money.
Yeah, I remember that, Dave.
And they were thick. I mean, Sunday I had a paper wagon that I would just go up the street because there's no way I could put it and carry it and walk it because the papers, I'd have to go back to the house 3 times to reload because the papers were so thick with the ads. I mean, it was a wooden wagon that I just pull up the street and walk it up to the house. I'd load them all in this wagon. And it was a big thing when I was growing up too, because these paper boxes were wood and guys were getting their paper boxes torched because they had tons of loose papers in the thing, and people were going up and they'd wake up, oh yeah, his paperweight got firebombed yesterday because young teenagers was going to throw a match in there and the whole thing would go up like a torch.
Oh shit!
It happened all the time.
Oh my God.
Fire department, paper boxes burned.
Why do I not use pee-pee for my pee-pee?
What the hell?
Because it's in short supply right now. That's why.
Did you have the change? I had the change thing where
I did not have it. I think maybe we had that for the jazz festival. They would issue it to us.
No, I had it because I went out. We didn't accept checks. Like you said, you had checks. I had to go. It was $2.35, and I remember they raised it to like $2.60. And this old guy, maybe it wasn't even it was like a dime. And he's like, "Yeah, I can't afford this. I'm gonna have to cancel it." And even as a 15-year-old kid, I'm like, "Are you serious, dude? Like, you're not gonna put out the Buffalo News out of business. Just pay the fucking money. You like the paper. Oh, this is getting too expensive." That was for a week. That was the whole week, including Sunday's paper. It was like $2.35, or they went up like a dime or a quarter. He's like, "Oh, I can't do this." I'm like, "Okay, whatever."
That boy's about as sharp as a bowling ball.
As he takes a swig from the bottle of vodka and smokes a cigarette. Yeah.
No, and
back in my day,
I used to go collect.
Papers used to cost a dime.
Yeah. Collecting this old couple, and they had this little gate because they had a Cocker Spaniel, and they were so old. They must have been 90. So the Cocker Spaniel would come out, get so excited to see me, piss all over the place. The old guy would walk through in his socks through
Just
the
like
piss.
It's like a sprinkler, just spins
He has
around.
no idea that this dog is pissing, and the dog Sandy was the nicest animal, but stunk. Like they never washed it. Like when the house opened, it was just this hot fucking dog, fucking barf smell. Ugh. And then he'd walk through every week, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna walk through the piss again. Yep, he just did it again. It was
sanitize.
Bright yellow piss. I remember it. And the dog would all wagging his little nose.
Not hydrated enough.
Chopped.
Need to piss clear.
No, you don't want to piss clear. Actually, that's when then you're flushing out all the minerals.
I always pee clear because it's Bud Light. I'm not supposed to pee clear.
It's supposed to be very light yellow.
It's a light beer,
hay.
so it might as well be water.
Oh, not completely clear. Right.
Oh, I really recycle Bud Light a lot.
No,
it's not.
You're renting it.
When it looks kind of like Bloody Mary, is that probably a bad sign?
Yeah, it's real bad.
If it comes out like a rosé or a red wine, I would definitely consult your doctor.
Yeah.
Not now, though. Just wait a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Not now. Yeah. We don't have time for you.
Did you hear Harvey Weinstein got the coronavirus when he went in to the hospital?
What?
You didn't hear that?
No. Is that real or is that?
Yeah. No. That's what I.
Is that off the Onion? Yeah.
No. I mean, let me double check. Let me check my Google facts here.
Check Snopes.
Yep. News time. All right.
Yeah, right.
Fake news. Fake
Although
news.
it's going to be bedtime soon for me. I have to.
Yeah.
Although I want to hear what.
Yes, he has it. He went in when he got his stint put in after the court case after the sentencing stuff. He was having chest pains, so they rushed him to the hospital and they put a stent in his whatever in his vein, and then he caught it there at the hospital. So now he's got the corona. He's tested positive yesterday for it.
Oh wow!
So
yeah,
if that monster dies, will anyone shed a tear? You know.
Hold on, let me check. Nope.
He's
the likelihood that Trump has it.
Yeah, he might.
This has got to be pretty damn high.
Yeah. A lot of the politicians, they meet a lot of people, you know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and he's so ignorant, so it's like,
We'll see. Should be fun.
Should be fun.
So you start taking
Heard it here.
Yeah, we're going to start having the death toll of all the celebrity.
Well, crooked politicians.
Population
I'm not going to
control.
shed a tear on that either.
Nope.
So.
No.
As I said, it'll be
That's
fun.
true.
That part will be fun.
That part will be fun.
The rest of it sucks. At least I get something fun out of it.
Wash your fucking hands.
Give him the breathalyzer.
All right, so we call it a night.
I think so.
I'm
Sounds
calling it
good.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 2:12.
3 hours almost.
2:11.
2:11 tonight.
2:11.
All right.
Yes, thanks everybody for joining us at the Arcade Hangout. And we'll
Yeah,
see
very
you
very
next
active
week.
IRC tonight.
Yeah,
Damn it, I missed it all.
skimming it. We didn't really read much from it, but yeah, there was a lot of people in there. And I
Yeah,
don't know if there was
we
enough
pushed.
show or
Did
not,
we get
but-
past 42 in the IRC? I didn't see.
I was wondering who in
it's
here is
close
actually
to it.
watching the show because we have more people on IRC than we have on YouTube.
YouTube.
So I think just
Well,
to
maybe
show
they've
them-
cut on. That
Yeah.
we mostly
They
pay
figured out
attention to the
it's
IRC.
Maybe
Well,
we should
YouTube
post the
is
show
only-
link.
I think YouTube only counts people who actually have signed accounts.
No,
on
I have
YouTube.
are actually watching through. Well, oh yeah, maybe.
I think
don't
if
know.
you
We
you can
have
just kind of
19
randomly
right
watch
now.
it, but if you don't have a YouTube or Google account watching it or something,
How many people do we have
Yeah,
on
let's go with
IRC
that.
right
I
now?
like that. That sounds better.
there you go.
IRC, we have a lot more.
Right,
It's like a
Gak.
lot more.
36, but
Right.
that includes bots.
Nobody
and
checked
us.
that on
Yeah,
Snopes.
exactly.
All right, yeah, Snopes
All right.
fact check.
Anyways,
No
here we
fact
go.
check.
At least 4 of those are fine.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, you guys. Thanks for joining us. Good night.